The game's to be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money. They say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste it. You ain't got no time. Out and about, out chasing paper. The streets of my house, and the house always wins like Vegas. Never down for the count. Second win, second nature. Found mine. Never had my hands out. Fuck favors. By design, everything tailored. In my youth, it was shell toes, no Chuck Taylors. Weak soap game, had a game so it's still the same code game, so it's still the same code. We all pay the cost, pay dues. Move with the mind state that I can't lose. On the grind, push a hard line with my linemen. Back when I was young, they said it's all about timing. Till it's my time, all the stars are aligning. I'm a diamond in the rough, couple cuts got me shining. This game you cannot cop on consignment. In the field, all we do is execute assignments. The game's to be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste, you ain't got no time to talk. The game's to be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste, you ain't got no time to talk.
First, we get into this paper. See, I want it all, plus some UNDEDOG acres, a lot of alcohol, few dad bags of paper. Run this shit like a ship and I'm the sailor. Cold, kinda like it's fresh up out the freezer. Cold, if she ain't talking bread, I don't need her. Soon as I meet her, I'm a fucker, then I leave her. It's the old Mac knees, treat them all like bottom feeders. Break it down slow for them folks that don't know. I'm a seasoned vet, black belt out the dojo. With a wide range of weapons, so I'm out the holster. Keeping all options open, so many ways that I can fold ya. Told you from the gate, never been about no play. Get it on the go, they never been known for no delay. The game should be sold, not to be told. Keep your mouth shut, don't have to break the mold. Mac knees.
Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I distribute. Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I just distribute. A young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor.
I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. You know I'm the boy, get money's what I'm used to.
Keep you straight from the gate, so I don't confuse ya. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'ma make noise, shout to my producer. I'm an entertainer, but I ain't here to amuse ya. Yeah, fuck with shooters and they all fucking users. Come through and wake that ass up like a rooster, hella early in the morning. Early bird gets a worm. Finna get rich for 'em, food for the worms. Cutting cocaine, dropping whole things. It's a cold game, make you run your gold chain. Hungry, but I'm moving in a keto state. For sure, I beat the price on the keys in your state. Catch me running up a tail, fucking up a bag. Make me wonder how long will a good thing last. On my Curtis Mayfield, live a life I can't chill. Push a man, pushing packs, all I do is make squeal. Keep it 100, I'm just numb, yo, I can't feel none of these suckers when they say they real. Stacking Uber cash, I'm an out-of-state supply. Random Uber man here to get away drive. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
My pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Cold out here for a pill. Ready tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life. So I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? Fantasy football hustler back at ya.
What's happening, Bogard Scott free in this thing?
Oh man, and we made it. We made it to OverReaction Monday, and it is time for everybody to overreact, everybody to panic. But everyone who's listening to us, you better be doing the exact opposite of that and just taking advantage of all the people panicking after week one. Because I can't tell you how many crazy like trade ideas like I saw in that fantasy group, and a lot of them are beginners, but it's like
Idiots. Beginners.
People who literally have no idea what they're doing. They're gonna react, just like in the craziest way possible. But people are already trying to sell Mahomes. People are already trying to sell Gibbs. People are already trying to sell Burrow and Chase. I saw one guy ask, should I trade away Ridley and Chase to get like Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson? Or
See, what's crazy? On the flip side, I like overreacting. I'm saying, like, oh, I got Tyreek Hill, bro. He's the best. I need your whole fucking team. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the overreaction can go both ways too. Like, if you have Tyreek Hill and you're gonna flip him, somebody might overpay, like right there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But I would still want more, just because just based on the 200 yards he came. I mean, bro, he's pacing for what, 3,000?
3,600. I ain't trading a 3,600 receiver.
Right? I want it all.
Fuck that.
I'm
not trading it. I'm not trading any of these studs away. Right?
That's funny. I took Tyreek Hill over everybody. I took Tyreek Hill as the number one receiver off the board in several leagues. You know what I mean?
Number one or number two? You took him over Jefferson?
Oh, I'm sorry. I never got a shot at Jefferson. So, yes, that's kind of the thing, huh? You're either going to get Jefferson. Jefferson's kind of, you know what? Is Tyreek Hill in his own tier?
Like, goes Jefferson? I mean, I don't know.
But would you argue, like, it's their 1A, 1B?
I had Jefferson and Tyreek as number 1 and 2. I mean, I was never taking Tyreek over Jefferson. So, I mean, if you're thinking of it like that, Jefferson's in his own tier, Tyreek's in his own tier, and then everybody else starts coming in. I'm with that.
Yep, there it is.
And Crispy said, how about them Cowboys? Yeah, too bad they couldn't put up any stats like Dak. Didn't even have to throw the ball to whoop on the Giants like that. I don't even think that was about the Cowboys as much as it was about the Giants are straight ass. They have no wide receivers over there. Who the hell is Danny Pesos going to throw to? He can't throw anyways. That's why Waller only had a couple.
Their line can't block nothing.
Dude, they made the Cowboys look like they were the 85 Bears out there on the line. Like, they could not stop anything. You know why the Giants didn't want to play Saquon? Because there was no reason to. They're going to suck with them or without them. Like, that's what this comes down to. It was so trash that we were going to come on for the second half. And I was like, nah, I got better things to do right now. We're done watching this stupid-ass game.
I wasn't even gonna come on either. When it was halftime, I didn't even ask. I was like, this game sucks. I'm gonna get on there, smoke like ridiculous amounts of weed, and to be mad because I was just smoking the weed to keep me entertained.
What up, Emil? Minnesota Marty, what up? Chaotic, what up?
What's up, girl?
Ha! Marty said Puka on the block in the 21. Good luck.
I seen you post him up there. I ain't
This
one of
is dynasty. Like people it's got to be the Cooper Cup.
It's a smart move. Cooper Cup's on the IR. You come okay. I have a real quick takeaway in that game. There's two things. Yeah, like the Rams came out there and smacked them up, and I didn't see that coming. I'm glad I stayed away from that game gambling wise, right? And then another takeaway is, man, did you see that thing that's going around with Geno?
No.
Where like he takes the snap, and then he starts to drop back, and he kind of stands there, and he sees Aaron Donald just coming at him. Oh, throws the ball away.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, bro, because it legit scared him. Like Aaron Donald was right there. Oh shit! Just throws it away.
What up, Dennis?
It's like a real it was like a what do they call that? The jump scares?
Yeah.
I've never seen a player get jump scared like that.
Smokey the Cat. Oh man, he said Burrow handed me my first loss. Was Burrow the only guy on your team that underperformed though?
You know, here's my thing. I know there's guys that'll lose it for me, but also meant did your opponent go out there and kick your ass? You know what I mean?
I feel better about that. If my team just
Me
sucks,
too.
I just get my ass whooped, and it's like, all right, no matter what Burrow scored, he's probably gonna lose anyway.
Yeah. And you know what? It's all good. It's week one. You know what I mean? A lot. If you pay attention to the landscape of your league from beginning to the end, you're gonna see some of those hot teams. They start off hot and they kind of just fall off because they don't continue what you're supposed to do to sustain. You know what I'm saying? Getting wins is awesome early, obviously. Man, you know, the race for the wild card, the second half, like that's the real race right there. Not everybody's fortunate to just have an easy schedule and cruise all the way through. You know what I mean? Like you just might have to put in extra work this year for that team starting off 0-1. And you're not even up. Next week, you're back to 500 if you get a W. So it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Stokely, what up? He said had Goddard, Sky Moron, and Higgins starting this week, but still can win my matchup with 43 points from Allen.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah.
So that's what we would call a Monday Night Miracle, unless you're in like a QB premium scoring format. And yeah, I like a good Monday Night Miracle. Let's dial it up.
Man, one of my teams was we were so stacked in the dynasty that I scored like 400 points, and I still had Higgins give me that 0.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at any of my dynasties yet because I didn't like a lot of my Isaiah Pacheco's and Jerick McKinnon's. They already put me in the hole on Thursday, so we'll see what it do. I gotta skim through that shit.
Nick Tab, what up? Over on Twitch, he said finally got my account back to watch y'all. There we go. Been also supporting on Patreon too. You the man.
Appreciate you, Nick Tab. You know what I mean? That's the homie.
And Yuck, he said, speaking of Overreaction Monday, it's our year. Every Cowboy fan has already came through and said it's our year.
Well, I mean, you know, that's the thing, too, that makes me feel comfortable is if I'm wrong, but so is everybody else.
And Tina said the offense didn't need to play this game. I don't want to hear those fucking excuses because I don't care who wins and loses. I need Dak to put up 300 yards and 2 touchdowns every game. Call Uncle Jerry and tell him I don't want to see a performance like that again. They got to put up the stats.
So I was, like cooking dinner and so the game was on because it was already a shellacking from the jump street. You know what I'm saying? And what Mike Torino, he's really old and senile.
Yeah.
Like he says so many wrong things. Like, oh, this is his 12th year in the league. Like, no, it's not his 11th. Like it's little minuscule things. Or like he'd be like the toss to Pollard. He's like, that was a handoff, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, yes. And I look and I'm like watching the replay. That wasn't a toss. I'm like, give me all this false hope. I'm like, damn, Torino, he's been doing this for like 2 years now. And then you have Chris Collinsworth, who just his tone of voice and his delivery, he can almost say nothing and he just sounds like a commentator because he's really saying a bunch of nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of annoys me now. I mean, you're one of the first people that pointed that out to me. And I think I was biased because I used to love PFF like a motherfucker. And he doesn't even really have anything to do with it, but besides investing in it early on. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Fucking guy.
He might as well be the one that invented it to most fucking people because they just have like no idea. But and who's and Yuck, he said Micah Parsons defensive player of the year. He didn't have no TJ Watt game yesterday. He didn't have no DeForest Buckner game yesterday. Like there was a lot of people who showed out a lot more than Micah Parsons, but he got his sack and his 2 solos. Like he was all right, but because it was such a shit game, was he even going hard the entire game? He didn't even need to.
When they put their backups in, they were destroying them.
Right. And wasn't that like in the end of the third or some shit? I don't
Like
even
maybe-
remember when they made that switch.
I don't know, 4 minutes into the fourth, 6 minutes into the fourth, they already had all their starters out.
Emil said, hot take, the Ravens trade for Jonathan Taylor. Fuck no, they won't.
What?
They just don't pay anybody like that. Like Lamar is like the first one to really get paid like that. And look how it like, man, it took like pulling teeth to be able to get that for Lamar. And then
he went tripping. He's like, I'll buy all new teeth. I'll buy everybody new teeth. He's like, fuck it. Yeah, and even with Mark Andrews, he's a guy who has a bag on him, but it's like it was an extension bag, and they what I'm saying, and then there's Roquan. That's the only one. I mean, they didn't even pay CJ Mosley. They let him go. You know what I'm saying? They draft Patrick Queen, and then man, I mean, they paid Roquan the biggest bag at a linebacker position ever. So, that's real. They're kind of doing some things that are a little uncharacteristic, but you got to remember, it's not Ozzie Newsome anymore. We're 2 years removed now. So maybe there's a little change of how they approach this thing. You know what I mean?
Titans, man, nobody cares who you're sending. Yeah, Titans whip my ass in that Debo league. Fucking bitch ass Kelsey and bitch ass Dak. Dak getting 10 points like on Sunday night.
I told you to sit Dak.
Doesn't matter. Fuck him. I hope Titans takes him. Dak's fucking.
He's gonna take Watson.
Yeah, we'll see. Because both guys, I mean, it could go either way on those. But yeah, and he said, guess who's getting Swifty? I don't give a fuck. He's going to get dropped in 2 seconds after you send him to me. Like, it doesn't matter who comes back. It matters who you take. Like, anyone who comes back is going to be so trash. They're probably going to get dropped anyways. Like, for every person that's doing
Was that his plan the whole time? I'm gonna draft DeAndre Swift.
So you could get 0 points.
Somebody's gonna get got with this.
Yeah, he's gonna get dropped hella fast. But yeah, see the Titans, he is the Reaper. Look at him. I mean, he killed Kelsey before I can even get him on the field to go against him. But now I can't steal him though. Yeah, that was the only person I was worried about him stealing. Fuck everybody else. Can't get Kelsey. Ha. And let's see. And Yuck said I live in giant country too. Walking like like the cock of the walk, everyone around. Cowboys pissed. Post toasties. Oh man. Axel said Joe Burrow is a thief. No, he just was hurt during the preseason, played 0 snaps during the preseason.
Look rusty as an old nail.
And everything that they got on the scouting report for the Browns was wrong, because that secondary looks better than it's looked in like, I don't know what, last 3 years, 4 years, some shit like that.
I mean, shit, I could probably go say longer than that.
Yeah.
Because they got pretty much got the same personnel, and maybe like they have a second year Del Pitt. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, fucking Jim Schwartz, man. Jim Schwartz's secondary is over. You know what I mean? Whether you look at his time in with the Eagles or his time with Buffalo, or even I think he was with the Lions as their DC at one point. Like,
Tino, this game was not perfect because you know what? At the end of the day, what's Uncle Jerry going to base? What's Dak going to get paid off of? Oh, you won this game like versus the Giants, where the Giants couldn't even score 1 point and you didn't even have to do shit to win.
Like, we got that Trey Lance kid. I'm sorry, Dak. He has his hairline's going faster than yours.
Trey Lance is a bum. They got him just so they can have like that third QB to like suit up for games, like just in case you need to break the security glass, because both your QBs get fucked in a game. It was funny when Chris Collinsworth was talking about that. He's like, I'm sure everyone's watching this game like, hey, why aren't you getting Trey Lance in the game?
Yeah, Collinsworth.
Oh, man, then he just kind of explained it. But, yeah, he's a fucking loser. Fucking Chris Collinsworth. Man, just get him off of there. And Peacock said after the second defensive touchdown, I shut off the TV, went to the movies with the wife. He said last voyage of what? Demeter? I don't even know how to pronounce that. He said,
is that the Star Wars joint? I mean, the Star Trek joint?
No fucking idea. Let him know.
Picard?
He said it wasn't great, but it was way more entertaining than Sunday Night Football.
Is it the last voyage of Picard?
Demeter, something?
No, I don't know. Yeah.
And Tina said, I don't play in team defense, but what the Cowboys get? Let's see.
$1 million.
Ooh, they had the most. And it's probably because of the shutout. I mean, depending on
you get your 10, you get some extra points plus the original 10, and then they had a special team score. They had 2 picks, 7 sacks, a pick 6. One of those picks was a pick 6.
12 QB hits.
Shout out to Stephon Gilmore too, because man, having someone super legit on one side, the opposite of Diggs, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But also, it was raining. It was Danny fucking dumbass. He only had one completion by a receiver when the time we were in the third quarter, and then like he had like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 more after that to Paris Campbell. It's all bad. That's why I didn't recommend nobody fuck with any of those receivers too. And then Akib Waller definitely could be a guy there. You know what I mean? And then on the other side, man, Ferguson kind of sucks, huh? But he was getting hella targets.
Yep.
I mean,
I'd rather have a guy that's halfway decent getting mid-level targets than a guy who's just straight ass who gets all the targets in the world.
There was some, I mean, they're really like enforcing that West Coast, that Mike McCarthy West Coast offense. And it was annoying me how Collinsworth kept, it's like Joe Montana. Like, no, it's not. And then he kept saying, at one point, he had compared, oh my God, this is stupid right here. He compared Darren Waller to LeBron James. Like, when you have LeBron James, you let him shoot. You have Darren Waller. I'm like, oh my God, no.
Yeah. Like, was that just the cool thing to do because LeBron James is so popular right now?
I don't know.
What's funny? Man. You couldn't make a better comparison than to a basketball player. I heard that shit too. I was like, he's a fucking dumbass, man. Like, what's he even talking about right now?
I mean,
LeBron James doesn't shoot anyways. He passes. Like, what the fuck?
And it's not like they were in Ohio where like you're gonna big up someone like a local someone. I don't know.
Come on, man. You couldn't have even gone with. I mean, they were in New York. You couldn't have gone with someone who plays in New York. Anything like that. Emil said, how embarrassing. Like, what a dumbass. No, he said, I scored 69 points in week 1. Oh, man. How embarrassing. That's a low score. For sure. Yeah. It's good you just get it all out of the way now, though, right? I mean, that's the best part about it. It's only one game. And Yuck said, I wish I played Zay Flowers. At least I got him. There's so many people who didn't play Zay Flowers, so don't even worry about that. And Robert, what up? He said, is London droppable now? No, he's not. But this exact outing is why all off season I was saying I'm totally avoiding him. It's not necessarily because of his talent. It's because of shitty quarterback play. And it was on display yesterday for sure. Carolina does have a solid secondary, especially in the safety positions as well. And Yuck said, I love the passion today. He said, fucking love this time of year. Hell yeah. Tino said, Zay is the play. Yes, sir. Titan said that game last night was terrible. That's the best way that we can describe it. And Tino said Uncle Jerry's not going to do nothing but be happy for his defense that he put together. The defense was okay, man. I think that all of this is really just about how garbage the Giants were. And we haven't even seen the Jets play. But yeah, I'm assuming it is going to be a way different game next week versus the Jets than it was this week versus
and Dallas is at home.
Yeah.
You gotta I love all the narratives too. Aaron Rodgers going up against his former head coach, and you know what I'm saying? And you know what's funny too? I bet you Aaron Rodgers could sit in that meeting room with Saleh and be like, this is what McCarthy likes to do. Right?
Yeah.
They could watch the film from last night and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? I swear to God.
Yeah, for real. Like, you're talking about a player who fucking played for this coach for what, 4 years? Was it 4 years that he was there? Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers played with he was there for like majority of his whole career.
I couldn't even remember how long McCarthy was there.
They drafted. So McCarthy was the one that passed up on Rodgers when McCarthy was with the Niners.
Okay.
And then love you, babe. Did you dust off your shoes? Okay, have a great day. Did you get your water bottle? You have to look these motherfuckers up. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, but
hydrated.
Yeah, hell yeah, we live in the fucking valley these days. This motherfucker hot.
But I mean, Rodgers playing for him. I mean, them just knowing the QB, the offense was not that great. Like, I mean, I know they put up 40 points, so I mean, it's like it's crazy for me to say like the offense wasn't that great. But go look at what the offense actually did yesterday. Like, man, I mean, the defense just put them in great positions. Giants could not fucking move the ball like at all. Like, it was
like with the weather, they weren't really passing it, and they were getting like 10. Like, what was Tony Pasta's average last night? They made him look like he was a first rounder.
It was 5.
Okay, so he's on his career. He's on his career average.
Yeah, it was 14 for 70.
Okay, so he still got a moderate, like 15 is what I had him at when people were asking.
But like, look at the fucking. I know they didn't have to pass that much, but it's not like they weren't trying to pass. They just weren't fucking completing shit. 13 for 24 from Dak. I mean, that's bad versus a really bad defense.
I will say this: it is funny because Collinsworth, he kept pointing at. You could tell like when he likes players or not.
Yeah,
and you can tell he doesn't really like. Yeah, right. So when he's talking about Dak, he's like, Mike McCarthy, he wants that. This West Coast offense supposed to raise up the completion rating. Look at this. This is not good. This is 50%. This is not good. And he just kept bringing it up.
Right.
I'm like, yo.
What up, South SCO? Is this itty bitty city?
South City. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the SCO. The South SCO.
And Robert said Russ or Purdy, week 2.
So
hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, look at the schedule. Because I know you want to play Purdy week 3 probably against the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Look,
well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Purdy against the Rams. Those division games are always tough. And Russ versus where the hell is their game at? Versus the Commandos.
Oh, we're going Russ.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to jinx it. I think we figured out the key to unlock Russ. Pause. Right when he's driving, you just got to play that song over and over again.
Titan said, hot take, Tannehill is washed and trashed. It's not a hot take. Pretty sure everybody knew that. It's just you guys got Levis and you guys got Malik Willis over there. So nobody is endangering his job.
And what's crazy is like that's probably the other offense that looked just as bad as the Giants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, the Giants are the only. I mean, the Titans are lucky because the Giants look worse than them.
I mean, what's crazy is how trash the Titans looked, and they only lost by 1 point to the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr kind of sucks a lot. You know what I mean?
I mean, he put up like decent stats though. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean,
it doesn't.
They had to because he was hanging around in that game too long. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like they can't see is that not a Derek Carr led team can't close anything away? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the things that looks better on Derek Carr's resume. Like if you're trying to find a brighter side, because he has like a handful of fourth quarter comebacks, but it's because he sucks. You know what I mean? He's always playing from behind.
Niner MMA said Brandon Ayuk and Purdy have true chemistry, bro. Said glad I got Brandon in the 5th. Yeah, because he was looking for him, especially in the end zone. I mean, that's what we want to see.
Yeah. And they found a matchup they liked. They were exploding.
He's got Debo to thank for sure, because I mean Debo was getting a brunt of the defense, and but the big takeaway from that game for me, Pittsburgh's defense is straight ass.
I remember, see, that's what made me mad when we were gambling in the morning. I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like it's really just, like I was so confused. Why I mean, in Vegas was trying to trick us. You know what I'm saying?
They did.
They brought the point down, and when I'm thinking
we missed 2 in that first one because the fucking Ravens whooped so much ass that either way we would have lost that. We went 50% on that parlay. So
yeah, I'm not mad at that one.
Yeah, first week we're gonna get that out of the way, and but the Steelers. I mean, outside of TJ Watt, like I mean they got solid pieces, but that defense is ass as a whole.
Oh yeah.
Start all your running backs against them and start all your wide receivers against them. And let's see, who the hell do they play next week? I bet they come back a little bit stronger, but shit, going up against the Browns, man, Nick Chubb's about to whoop that ass. And we're about to see Watson on Monday night.
Don't kill Watson, Titans.
Oh man. And Axel said, guess who started Burrow and T. Higgins? A shitload of people. So
you know
worry,
what?
It wasn't just you.
It's like I'm in the league with my cousin Cicero who wants to slice my fucking throat. Fucking Higgins and fucking Burrow.
What up,
Killing
Jared?
me in the guillotine league. I'm about to fucking get my head chopped at that motherfucker, bro.
Man.
You know what's crazy? 2 years ago, I get chopped week 1. Then it's my birthday twin last year, and then we couldn't even get Tino to join, so it's gonna be me again.
Only people who lose on week 1 have the November 30th birthday. That's it. That's the rule in this league. Tua brought me back. Like, that was the reason why I'm not in contention. We looked at this, and it was before Tua really started lighting it up.
Yep.
Devo or AJ, wow. He said, what a horrible week 1 for me. Bro, it's because you got that rookie fever, homie. You were all on those rookies. Anthony Richardson did all right because that rushing touchdown that pretty much saved him.
And Pittman kind of just ran. You know what's funny? In the Green Bowl, I was just looking at when I'm finally looking at all my matchups and shit. And I'm like, and you know, this is last night, right? And I'm like, this fucking guy. Shout out to Ghost Monkey. Of course, he has Pittman against me.
Oh,
Pittman
shit.
goes crazy. But I might pull that one off though over there. Fingers crossed. You know what I mean?
So I think I got the dub in the bag over there, but it's me and Candlestick who are going for top score week 1. It's a shootout in that. No one's walking away with it.
What's the what are we doing on top score per week?
50.
Nice.
So you can get a nice little chunk of change by the end of the season. You get a couple. I'm trying to get 4, at least 4 of them, and that's an extra $200 right there. That takes off like a third of like what you paid to get in. AJ said my worst week in fantasy history, bro.
Come on, son. Is it because I left you as a child?
Why aren't you?
Because I wasn't there for you, son.
Why aren't you listening to us? I mean, I feel like a lot of
left us. We turned all right.
A lot of these guys who we were championing did really good in week 1. I mean, of course, guys like Higgins, didn't do shit. I mean, everybody on the Bengals didn't do shit. So but everybody was on everyone on the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean that just happened. You know what I mean? That doesn't make me cause for any real concern unless I start seeing that happen repeatedly. And it is a real thing. The Bengals are slow starters. You know what I'm saying? Joe Burrow hadn't played a lick of preseason since he was a rookie. You know what I mean?
And
when he was actually not even. I don't think he's ever played any preseason, bro.
Yeah, maybe. And I was gonna say, what's your quick takeaway from like all the dudes that didn't play in the preseason? Like we kind of saw it, right?
It's just a different philosophy, different regimes. Like
I just mean like how those guys kind of did in week 1, at least maybe first half of the games.
Because I'm trying to think of a good example of who came. Like
Herbert.
Herbert. No preseason. He came out there. I mean,
he did solid.
There was a lot of drops too. Like you know what I mean. Like I figured something out yesterday. Like if you just throw it at Quentin Johnson, he just won't catch it.
I don't know.
That's my Quentin Johnson takeaway so far because he was getting behind everybody and it just drop it.
Yeah. And AJ said Kelsey not going screwed me in a lot of places. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody. And what up, Antonio? But if you went and picked up guys, like Hunter Henry, just guys who are
even Logan Thomas, guys that we were just championing as these get both of those guys late if you don't get a chance at any of the top tight ends.
And free guys, Yeah,
I mean, because look at even if you went and got we're just basing this on week 1 right now. This is the data we got, but you know what? Evan Ingram and like Logan Thomas, all these guys put up similar stat lines. But if you catch the touchdown, you up there in the top 5 finishing. You know what I mean?
I mean, we were championing Hunter Henry. Like, remember how many people were like, "Should I do this guy or this guy?" And we're like, "Fuck it, just wait and get Hunter Henry for free." Like we said that hundreds of times in the offseason. And who was the number 1 tight end on the week as of right now? Hunter Henry. 56 yards, 5 receptions, and a tug. Like that's what's crazy is like he's gonna be in tight end 1 like contention all the time because he can easily get 5 receptions a game. It's gonna be the fucking touchdown or not. Like that's what's gonna make or break him being a tight end 1 most weeks.
Justin Fields and them, and the defense. They don't look any good, huh?
Nah.
I was rewatching that game last night.
Miami, though, man. I mean, everyone who's hating on Miami for whatever, Tua and the gang signs and all that, man. Like Miami is fucking legit. They got one of the best fucking play callers in the game.
And probably not fooling with any running backs over there for real. Just
for what? For what?
Know,
we
right?
don't even need the running back position.
And like, you know what's crazy too is there was one league, I think it was Spencer's league. I ended up with Tyreek and Waddle, and I remember I was trying to get to it, and it didn't happen. But like, you know what I mean? Like, because I was like, that's an offense. I'll have all three of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish I started thinking that mindset. I mean, wishes for suckers. If that would be cool if I could go back and like remind myself, hey, maybe you should do that more in redraft.
Yeah, I don't think I have that stack like at all. I know that there's one.
I have a Chase Higgins stack, and ask me how that went week 1.
Yeah, it didn't go so well. No. Week 1. And Mark, what up, Street Soldiers? He said I couldn't have been more wrong on DJ Moore and Akers. Well, the thing is about DJ Moore. I mean, I was on him as well, and still on him. But when you go up against Jair Alexander, you might get removed from the entire game.
That's what I was telling people yesterday. Like there was some like where it was like I remember I said Romeo Dobbs over DJ Moore, and I was like, I was like, next question. I was just like, because it's kind of tough, like to get too cute like that week 1. I mean, I had a bunch of DJ Moores fuck me as well. You know what I mean? With Romeo Dobbs on my bench. You know what I'm saying? Because I had those are some of those guys I was championing, especially at Romeo Dobbs. Like it was a tough decision to play him. Like I played him over Van Jefferson in a couple, and then just to diversify, there's some I kept Van in there. Yeah, and I should have made the switch everywhere. You know what I mean? Because Romeo Dobbs, man, that's my guy. And now let me ask you this: there was no Christian Watson there. When Christian Watson comes back, I don't think he's not the primary target still. Like I think Dobbs is still going to be this go-to guy because with Christian Watson's big playability, you're going to have to you're going to have to bracket him or just double him. Period. You know what I mean?
And if you guys were paying attention, during the offseason when we're given the news on FNT, multiple times it came up that said that Dobbs looks like his favorite target out there. And yeah, there's no Christian Watson, but when Christian Watson comes back, he's going to be getting the brunt of the defense, at least with the top corner, maybe some double coverages here and there. And then Dobbs is going to be the one who's now on the number 2 cornerback doing very similar things of what he did yesterday, I'm assuming.
And I mean, for what it's worth, too, like I don't know, I kind of view things like Romeo Dobbs as low hanging fruit. The way my perspective is, because as soon as Rodgers was gone for real, I was like, oh, Watson's not going to be that guy, bro.
Right.
It's going to be tough for him.
And even then, it was still only a 5-game stretch where he had like a touchdown in each of those 5 games or whatever. That's super polarizing.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns in 5 weeks is insane, man. Yeah. And you know what though? One of those touchdowns, only 7 of those 8 came from Rodgers because there was a point where like Jay Love came in. Remember we were in Vegas and they were getting smashed by Tennessee.
Yeah.
So then they took out Rodgers and in comes Jordan Love. He bombs a big house call to Christian Watson. And so Kenan, what's your takeaway on Jordan Love? I have 0 Jordan Love outside of like some best balls.
It's more of the takeaway on the Bears.
On the Bears, huh? Okay, yeah. Because I don't want to get too overzealous on him on his week 1.
Their defensive scheme was whack as fuck. The secondary, like they were just getting picked apart. I don't know what they were just
they were good on paper.
Yeah, they were not getting pass rush. Like maybe that's what it is. Is like, you get any kind of decent pass rush and makes your secondary like a lot better. But yeah man, that the first level of each of their like the trenches, both sides, straight trash.
And shout out to my man Quay Walker with the late. I did a late swap for the 1:00 games and took Dean out in the Steamboat League. Because I was just like, in that league, it's not the scoring isn't as much. Yeah. So I'm like, let me switch out a guy who I think is gonna actually just do better on paper. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was gonna get the pick 6. The pick 6 probably saved him.
Where's all the peeps though? I mean, because I like the energy of like the peeps who are coming around, like every week, like watch this and this, and this and that. But like, where are they at? Like after like the first week, like I want to see it.
And listen, I don't take victory laps because this is the beginning of the year. But man, I hope everybody just listened to me about Romeo Dobbs specifically because he was just like, even when the news came out with the hammy and stuff, it only just made him drop further in drafts and just what I mean.
It's mainly Kevin who I want to see come back in here talking all that shit about Watson, and Watson looked like 10 times better than Kenny Pickett. Yeah,
and like, hey, Kenny throws a Pickett. Fuck fucking kid, he throws a picket with a small ass hand. You making me mad with a motherfucking Mac Jones on my bench. I was like, I should just play motherfucking Mac Jones over him.
And Nick Tab, he said Kyren Williams and Akers is going to be a 50-50 split, you think? I think that the Rams are going to be so trash that they're not going to want to like let Akers die.
You know what's crazy? I was talking all this shit like, okay, outside of Todd Gurley, they don't really throw out their running backs. And then all offseason, they're like, we want Kyren Williams to be our primary pass catching back. And I'm laughing like, oh, wow, but they don't throw out the running backs. And they were throwing at the motherfucking running backs. Like, okay, I will say this.
They only have 2 receptions, though.
I'm just saying, though.
Yeah.
They threw at the running backs.
Yeah.
They didn't even have nobody, though, too, so you can say that. Like, you know what I mean? And like, what was the past tense? What's the stat lines there? Is there anything that jumps out outside of Puka being like a rookie that showed up?
No, that entire game was straight.
Kyren Williams. Yeah, the whole game sucked, right? I mean, DK saved his day with a tug.
I mean, Stafford threw it a shit ton. He threw it 38 times, only 24 completions, 334. I mean, shit. I mean, Cam Akers had 22 rushes as opposed to Kyren's 15. And even Kyren's 15 for 52. That's only 3.5 yards. You know, their line is just straight ass.
And like they ran a shitload of plays. Okay, on the flip side of that, well,
hold on. It's Puka Nuka and Tutu. I mean, because everyone thought it was going to be and we heard a lot of Tutu shit in the offseason as well. I just didn't believe it. But now we actually went out there and saw it. Puka 10 for 119, Tutu 6 for 119. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Everyone who was super stoked about Tyler Higbee, 3 for 49, Van 4 for 24.
And he drops a big old fucking 40-yarder, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, fucking asshole. That at least would have made
he turned Diggs around on that, or not Diggs, Woolen.
Yeah.
He turned Woolen around on that one.
Yeah.
Gone. I was like, that was right when we got off the show yesterday.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Me too, because I'm like, that would have been the house call too.
Yeah, I don't even have him playing in too many places. I may have only started him in one place, but for that one place, I was so pissed.
And I'm okay because I'm going to call that a matchup thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They picked apart the other side of every. You know what I mean.
Yeah, and they didn't have, Seattle didn't have their number one like out there as well. What really my takeaway from Seattle, they're not going to be able to stop the run all season. Like, I mean, this team has a trash offensive line, and they were able to at least run as good as they did, put up as many yards as they did, and 3.5 like average. I mean, that's still a shitty first down on 4 tries, or like on 3 tries. I mean,
that's one of the games I want to go back and rewatch again. That's one of the ones I didn't watch because I felt like I watched a good amount of it yesterday. But yeah, I want to go back and watch that one too because like how many plays in a motherfucking Seattle even run? Like it seems so fucking a lot. Look at that, over 30 rush attempts as a team, 38 pass attempts. Like they weren't like 100 plays.
Extending drives like at all. I mean, Gino, he scored 26 times, 16 completions, 112 yards. Ken Walker, 12 for 64. I mean, give him the ball.
5 more.
Get him the ball.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Yeah. I mean, it was a game script thing, though.
I mean, because you start losing, that's really it. But they just couldn't extend plays. And like they're going out there and throwing it on first down, big old incompletion, then it's 2nd and 10. And, they get a little 2-yard run at that point or whatever. And their play calling was just completely fucking off. Receiving, I mean, DK with the 3 for 47 and a tug. I mean, he's the only, bright spot there. Will Disley, 2 for 17.
Oh, my man, Walt Disley.
I saw him and I was like, why the fuck are they giving him the ball? He's still playing.
The creator of Fantasia.
DJ Dallas, 1 for 14. JSN, 3 for 13. Tyler Lockett, 2 for 10. Gino missed him and overthrew him like multiple times. I was so pissed.
I remember that one. I was like, Russ wouldn't have missed that.
Yeah, like, man, like that would have been a dope touchdown and fucking just like overthrew him. Like couldn't even drop the dime in the bucket.
One thing I was excited for Gino in the offseason when they added JSN, I'm like, oh, he might like, and then I started realizing like, okay, let's hope that wasn't a complete outlier year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because he had one of the higher QBR ratings and completion ratings last year. Like, I don't know, man. I guess it is. I will say it is divisional. They know them well. I don't think the Rams are still a good team.
Seahawks are tanking for Caleb Williams. They are not tanking. Like whether they actually get there or not. I mean, they are not purposely tanking.
Okay.
They tried their darndest yesterday, and they just got whooped by a fucking better coach, way better coach. Crazy old Pete got out coached.
Yeah, I hate them both.
And Peacock said Lockett had 2 chances to score TDs. Fuck yeah, exactly. It's hella pissed at Gino. Hella pissed at.
I know.
Gino.
Let's kill him.
Let's jump him. And Antonio said 40-0. God damn, I know Derek and Crispy are happy right now. Yeah, man, I'm sure they are. Every Cowboys fan who jumped in the chat today, it's our year, baby.
You know what's crazy about like I've been all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all over the place like space. And that, man, it's anywhere I'm at, you see people with the Cowboy jerseys. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just a Texas thing, obviously. Like, and them motherfuckers is out this morning. They out, bruh. I said, even just one of my neighbors, he was backing out of his shit this morning. Backing out of his shit, motherfucker got the little cowboy shit blasting on his shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see his car every day. He didn't have that yesterday.
So it's funny because like anytime the Cowboys do good, I always think of Stephen A. Smith because I know the Cowboy fans despise Stephen A. Smith. One thing that he says that always reigns true is the Cowboys aren't going to screw you in week 1 and week 2. Like they're going to get your hopes up real nice. But when it means the most is when the Cowboys decide to shit the bed.
You know what's crazy too is like, okay, I always got to look at it on both sides. After week 1, you would say that's the best looking defense right now. And I mean, it looked like a Dan Quinn defense.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn's defense were always outside of like his run in Atlanta, when his run in Seattle, man, they're always like top 3 in takeaways, sacks, QB pressures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that when Dan Quinn left Seattle, did that not all go away with him?
Yeah.
In Seattle, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't. The Giants couldn't even run on them like that. They're gonna need that defense because their schedule.
How is their line so fucking trash? Like it looked like it took like a million steps backwards from last year. Like you figured the rookies would be stepping it up a little bit more.
I know early on,
sophomores now. They're sophomores now.
Yeah, and then there's Andrew Thomas, who's like in his 4th season, and like he did get banged up early, and then because they kept like pulling him in and out of the game.
Okay,
but like I'm not gonna make any excuses. They look shitty, bro.
Yeah. The Giants are tanking for Caleb.
Oh shit! I mean,
they can get out of that Danny Pesos contract next year if they
want it. Nobody wants it, man.
But but yeah, Yuck said it right there. He said Caleb said if he doesn't like the team that's going to get him, he's staying in college. Like, why would he leave? He's going to be on a fucking premier team in college, getting hella paid. Getting hella pussy in LA, and then where he's gonna go to some like shit ass, place around the country to play on some shitty team. Fuck that.
I don't know. You know what's funny is that motherfuckers love money, bro. And if he's already has money coming out of college, it could be for a pure like, okay, where am I gonna go get money? Now I care where I'm gonna get money at. Because a lot of times they'll be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm going to the draft so I get this money.
Yeah. I don't know. When you come from money and you're getting millions of dollars already as like a pre-20-year-old and 21, and I mean, I don't even.
You know who was like that? Josh Rosen. Someone who came from privileged background, hella rich, like super rich, bro, like wealthy.
Yeah.
And he just, had all the best trainers growing up because he was rich, and he played at whatever was it, USC or someone help me out here. And then even he was like trying to be all picky and choosy, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're trying to say he's like the next Aaron Rodgers. You remember that shit? Fucking preposterous.
Who's that? Mel Kiper? You dumbass.
Yeah. It really was.
Okay. And South Coast 650 said, okay, UCLA. Okay. So it was the other LA.
The other LA. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just a super, and he was a Jewish kid too. So, you know what I mean? He probably grew up, I would assume he grew up in LA or New York, wherever, even in Frisco, it's a trip. I see a rabbi walking like, well, really? We got them out here? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Sticky. Shout out to Sticky if you're out there in the world. Because he was like, "You're from San Jose, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "My dad's what do they call it? Like the Jewish churches?
Is it synagogue? I have no idea.
It's whatever they call it, right? Temple or something, whatever it is, right? They had one off of Aborn, off of Aborn Road and King, right? Little shack. And I lived next to this motherfucker for like 5-year stretch. And I never even knew what that was. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, we got Jewish people out here. Because I love you. I'm on record for saying Jewish people kind of raised me. Entertainment, everything. You know, you didn't really realize, like, oh shit, we're just being raised on all this Jewish powered entertainment. You know what I mean?
Big Draft Energy was like, can he pick it? Yes, he can be a tribe called Pittsburgh. I don't get the reference because I see that and I think
a tribe called Quest.
Yeah,
a tribe called Pittsburgh. It's a stretch.
But Disco, what was up with your boy Fields and DJ Moore yesterday, though?
Hey, don't disrespect the best stack in the game. I'm just saying.
And Jay said, week 1 of fantasy is always like this. It just depends on who you have, but this is why I play in a million leagues because
so I can have them all.
Well, and I did better in like if I go through it like all 120 teams. I know that my record's a winning record from yesterday, but yeah, there's a lot of shit teams that I got Burrow on and Chase and Higgins.
Yeah, I got 38 leagues that I got to do things in. I tend to not look at any of the best balls at all.
Tino said Mozzie's taking triple teams. Well, the only reason Mozzie was probably taking triple teams is because the Giants fucking line doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. That's the only thing that I can think. And because they should have pushed a couple of those guys wider because their tackles just kept getting beat.
They're slow. They were slow, man.
Yeah. And before we forget, in that Seattle game, Bobby Wagner, 19 total tackles.
Murderer.
9 of them solos. Come on, B Wags. There we go.
Hell yeah.
And what did Mozzie do yesterday? Did he even show up on the? Let's see if he showed up on the stat sheet or if he just showed up in like the real life game.
Yeah, didn't he get him one? I mean, they got Danny Dumbass like 9 times, but 2 of them had like 2 of them.
He had a solo and an assisted tackle.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at him.
Yeah, big time. But just a public service announcement for everyone. I know there's a bunch of people who are like, man, this is why I hate fantasy football. And there's a bunch of people who think like that. This is a long haul, man. This is a 17-week season. And don't panic. Don't panic.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a great week 1. There might be a couple bad beats. There's a shitload of shit that's coming down to tonight, bro. All the Josh Allens that I'm playing, all the fucking Diggses and all the all the Rodgers I'm playing against, the couple Rodgers that I'm playing. It's all coming down tonight.
Yeah, see, look at that Chew. He said, good game. My team's 0-1. My season's done.
Hey, listen, man, let that motivate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get motivated, bro. This is the long haul. You know what I mean? I see motherfuckers that go 0-6 and make it to the dance. You know what I mean? Like shit.
And Tino, I guess it was 1.5. Well, I mean, it's 2 total tackles, because that's just the way that they list it. But yeah, he had one solo tackle, 1 assisted.
Looking at it from a fantasy perspective, right? You know what I'm saying?
And Emil said, fantasy football gives me anxiety, bro. No lie. Gives all of us anxiety. But one thing that I've learned is the more leagues that you get in, the less you stress about a single.
Get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dennis said, fucking Vikings are trailing the damn Lions. Vikings are about to start 0-2, bro. They're about to start 0-2 because they got this week. They got the Eagles on Thursday night.
Oh shit! I mean, at least that's what happened when you get a bad beat. Because I think anyone who loses to a Baker Mayfield led team, you're gonna feel like that bad taste in your mouth. At least you get a chance to wash it out immediately. But it might.
I mean, you said
I just said it was a chance to.
Hey, there is a chance.
You know what, bro? There's
a chance.
Yeah.
It could be a shootout. I mean, shit. Look, McCorkle shot it out with that defense. McCorkle Jones.
Yeah, but you know whose defense is nowhere near the stratosphere of the Eagles' defense or the Patriots' defense?
It's the Vikings.
Vikings legit may have one of the worst defenses in the league. And it's not even because Baker shredded them. It's because look at their personnel that they got out there. It's like Daniil Hunter and Harrison Smith, Byron Murphy. They got one guy at each level, and everyone else is ass.
Yeah. I mean, they really like, are they tanking for Keelan?
It's crazy. Are they? And then Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is gonna have a job. Kirk Cousins is gonna find himself in demand again, unless they.
It won't be for the San Francisco 49ers, though. I think after that showing, I think Brock has already locked in.
Oh man, I love the Brock.
A franchise San Fran QB.
I'm still being reserved about it though. Steelers are really bad on defense.
They are.
You know what I mean, they got a reputation that doesn't supersede them. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks of them and they think defense and Mike T and you know what I mean? But
well, he should be able to go out there and handle the Rams like fairly easily. But one thing that we saw, one thing that we saw from the Rams is they ain't out there tanking for nothing. Aaron Donald's going hard.
It kind of reminds me of what they said about Seattle last year. Remember that?
All right, Bogey, I'm going to let you take credit for this one. Nakobe Dean expected to miss multiple weeks with his foot injury.
Son of a bitch. How come you don't let me get credit for all the good shit that I get right?
No. The credit for you.
I have all the Dean.
I'm talking about
it is my fault.
I'm talking about you always taking credit for killing everybody.
Yeah. It's only fun when I say it. Am I the Reaper?
So, okay. So pretty much the way that Mondays are going to work, we're going to get on just like we did today. We're going to do like 30 minutes to an hour of kind of just like overreaction and taking questions and stuff like that. And then we're going to get into the injury segment. And then we're going to get into the studs and duds. And we're going to go through every position super quick on the studs.
And when we do the injury joints, you know, there might be some names that we could highlight. So kind of like some foreshadow of what you want to do in your waiver cycle this week, this going into week 2. But yeah, let's rock. Let's do it.
And Jay said, hey, and this, no. It's not a 120 team league. I have 120 teams that I'm managing. That's what I said. And let's see, any other questions before we start? And be on the lookout. If you're a Patreon member, you should get an email from me. I'm going to be every Monday, at least. I'm going to try to get a little schedule going of sending out a newsletter. So like literally like everyone who's a Patreon member, you should have an email in your inbox from me. And it'll be about the week 1 injury recap. And it's literally got all the injuries like right there, the news that we had as of this morning. And Dennis, no, we did not win any money yesterday. We 50% of the parlays we hit, so we hit 2, we lost.
The Vikings have fucked off the big one.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Vikings and it was the Vikings and the Patriots. They hit the over, so that fucked our 7-legger. Those two. Yeah. So
I did not think that one was gonna shoot out. It was funny because all morning I was like, man, we need a shootout. They all came in the afternoon. Those 2 games.
And that's what it is, man. Like. Early games for those West Coasters, like that's kind of the difference. It's like if you're in that afternoon game, no matter where you're playing, no matter where you came in from, you know, you're kind of on that like 1 o'clock schedule still.
Like what was it? 10 and 14 road teams got the W yesterday.
Shit's wild, man.
Or week 1 so far, because you know they started with the Lions, kind of fucking setting the tone for week 1. Underdogs on the road.
Damn, Tina said I hit 2 or 3. Bengals took my money. Fuckers. Uncle Buck said the Brock Star.
I like it. We'll allow it.
And Emil said Kirk will go to the Falcons.
I can see that.
They got a good line over there. We know that.
I would love that.
Pitts and London and Ritter.
They would finally come alive.
Get rid of
London. Hey, you know what's crazy? I have some takeaways from that game, just real quick. 1, Tyler Algier. Damn, what the fuck? 15 attempts. Like that was, you know, that's.
I didn't think it was going to go away though.
I didn't think he was gonna go away, but I thought he was gonna be in it. And you know what? It was too like an even what is it called? Positive game script for them majority of the time. So you know what I mean? They're just kind of controlling the pace with Algier on the ground because it was working. But then here's my thing: how does Desmond Ridder have more receptions than Drake London?
It's ugly.
It's insane. And that's why I'm glad like no one allowed me to get London. Like everyone saved me from myself. I have 0 London outside of the best balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And hopefully you guys don't have any London either, because he was one of those guys. I'm pretty sure.
Buy low on London?
Fuck no. When they trade for a quarterback, maybe like fuck.
Okay, what if they go one more week and they're like, see, they won in spite of Ridder too. That's what's crazy.
And Super Saiyan Vegan said, how do I subscribe on Patreon? So you go to 420crew.org. There's $5 tiers all the way up to $50 tiers, and anywhere in between. The most popular tiers are the Superstar tier and the Elite tiers. Those are the $10 and $15 tiers. Get up to the $15 or $25 tier, and then you get the bat line where you can actually like message me like directly instead of just only getting a hold of me when we're on YouTube Live. But yeah, 420crew.org.
Yeah, time out.
I think Carolina is going to be a lot better than people really think as well. Just because they're super solid on defense. I don't even think people know a lot of the defensive
yeah, they did.
And their line is pretty legit. And that
also Atlanta didn't really have too much pass rush.
Fuck no. We already knew that was like their biggest weakness. Because let me see. I don't know what Caden Ellis did, but I know Troy Anderson, he threw up like 19, so he's like right around a dub.
White boy Troy. I think that's just gonna keep going and going.
Caden Ellis put up 15, 9 total tackles. So for someone who you pretty much got for free at the end of,
And here's the thing too. I've been pointing this out all off season because one of the early things they did was bring over a division rival coach. They brought over the defensive coordinator assistant from the Saints last year. They brought him over. And you know what I'm saying? One of the first things he did bring over Caden Ellis. And you knew they were gonna run that 4-2-5, you know what I mean? Where they got 5 DBs and sometimes one of them's a linebacker most of the time. But those 2 inside linebackers that they run, they always eat in fantasy, bro. And we got white boy Troy and Caden Ellis right here.
Man, I wish I had more Jesse Bates, but like he is that dude. Like, man, Bengals fucked up because like you could just.
Well, they knew they couldn't pay him. They had to pay these other guys. You know what I mean?
Should have figured out a way. Because that defense.
They tagged him. You know what's crazy? They tagged him and he played poorly under the tag.
Exactly. Because like I was just about to say that the last year that he played, where he like showed out like he did yesterday, was the last year before they tagged him.
Yeah, and then like soon as could you imagine this? You're actually on a good team.
Fucking Crispy said, "Quit tagging me. It's our year."
Man, if you guys
as Dennis said, Max Hill did have a good game. He did.
Hell yeah!
I'm just saying though,
he put a 15 in our scoring format.
He ain't no Jesse Bates yet. That's all I'm saying. He ain't no Jesse Bates yet. He could be in a couple years, but
Did Battle get in the mix over Scott, or did they rotate him at all?
Good question, because I didn't even.
I didn't look at that. Yeah, because I refused to watch that game, man. I'm mad at the Bengals and all of them, man.
He didn't even play.
Okay, that makes sense. There wasn't no noise on him. It's one thing that annoyed me is I saw him out there like in the second and third quarter in one of those preseason games. I was like,
and he was making good plays, but
yeah, he was. But then it was like, come on, like it's a bad tell.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, sure. This shows that you're lower on the depth chart.
And this is what's tough, even if you're a second rounder, depending on who's there in front of you. I mean, you may have to wait a year.
Yeah, I'm keeping him in that.
I still didn't play shit last year, like at all. And
the mighty Dax.
And Dylan said T. Higgins is gone after that Burrow contract. He said, as a Ravens fan, I'm happy. Yeah, because they're going to be. I mean, that's going to be one less piece on that offense over there.
And then maybe Zach Taylor, formerly of the Rams, current head coach of the Bengals. Maybe they trade for Cooper Kupp.
It'd be insane. It's crazy. A lot of things change.
You know, that's one thing when a player has a contract, you gotta bring them in and restructure the fuck out of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I can see them moving on to him if they don't get a fucking Higgins. Yeah. I don't know, you know, that's just me thinking crazy. Trying to improve my Burrow for the future. I don't want them to lose Higgins, man. And I think Higgins about to go crazy. They're all about to go. Who they playing next week? Bounce back.
They are playing
bounce back week.
Ooh, they're playing the Ravens.
Ooh, he shreds the Ravens, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Ravens have a weak secondary, and we're gonna be talking about it on the injuries. They had a big injury in their secondary as well.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hold on, let me finish this bowl, and we got Dylan.
Oh yeah, we can do the whole thing. Yeah.
We set up 2 points, full PPR. Got Diggs and James Cook tonight. Opponent has Dalvin Cook. Safe to say I'm good. I mean, you know, anything can happen, but if you got 2 players, 2 starters, as opposed to like a 1 starter over there,
and you're up,
yeah, it should be good. I mean, 2 points. I mean, might as well be equal, you know, on that.
Oh, he's up 2 points.
Yes, that's it.
Oh yeah.
And JPZ, what up? He said, "What up, football fam?" He said, "Happy Monday to all," and he said, "ATL Bijan, baby."
Let's go.
ATL, man. I wonder how many games they do give Desmond Ridder. Like now, after seeing this first one, it's like I really think Heineke, go pick him up if you play in some. Yeah,
because you know what? Too. Here's the thing. I would love for them to make that switch because they would, but they have to lose. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. They won in spite of Ridder. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. They got to lose. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Because I don't even remember. Didn't they pull Marcus Mariota like after a winning game? I mean, I know they weren't like winning for the season at that point.
But you know what though? Is that not Belichickian? Because that was Mike Vrabel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who says you have to be on a low point to? I mean, I know that's like usually what happens, but like
if Steamboat is watching, he'll vouch for that. And you guys can go look this up. The very, very first episode of the Real Fantasy Playmakers is 2019 predictions episode, right? And dropped it right before week 1. And when we're going through the AFC South, I said, man, don't be surprised if we see a switch by like week 4, 5-ish. You know what I'm saying? From Tannehill to Mariota, and they ain't gonna take an injury. You know what I'm saying? And they fucking did that. I remember, like, you know, in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're just knocking hella shit out. I was doing like 5 episodes a week. And then at one point he goes back and listens to the prediction shit. He's like, hey, bro, you called that fucking Ryan Tannehill shit. I was like, because Mariota sucks. And look at, they had Mariota last year at Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And like,
didn't take it in.
It didn't take an injury. And then they switched to Ridder, who was like a poor man's Mariota.
Nah, man.
Don't do that to him?
I don't know. Like
he's like, nah, man, is he worse?
He might, yeah, I think he is. I really think he is.
John Ritter's a strange son. Three's not a company. He's just like, it's just me. I'm just gonna throw it to none of you receivers.
I'm gonna get more receptions than you today, Drake.
Fuck you, Drake. I hate your music.
And Super Saiyan said, Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. He said that's why Uncle Jerry is old, decrepit, got old, decrepit as Lance. He said San Fran playbook for a 4th round pick.
You know, I'll tell you this much. That's diabolical. But see, here's my thing. Lance is a fucking idiot.
Does Lance even know the playbook?
I mean, fucking that guy didn't. Oh, man. But it's very smart, though. Very smart.
We talked about Tutu. I mean, we just mentioned him, like real quick. He'll be mentioned on the studs and duds. We're about to get into the injuries first, and then we're going to break down the studs and duds per position. And yeah, Peacock said it right there. Trey Lance probably doesn't even know the 49ers playbook. He said Lance loses one play from his memory. He said for every piece of hair that falls from his head.
That's why he holds on to all the hair as much as possible. Like, just take it down, bro. No. I'll forget everything. He just has amnesia, bro.
Oh man, so funny. All right, so what we're gonna do? I got the little 5-minute countdown here. 5-second countdown, and we're just gonna put that in between each segment because it makes it easier for me to find it when I'm doing the editing. So you can give us the countdown if you want, but
I like the digital one. Because then I'm on like a second delay. I'm gonna be off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So either way, so it'll just be silent for 5 or 6 seconds, and then we'll just start. We don't have to do a full what up or anything. We'll just casually get into it.
Coming in hot. Ah!
Here we go. All right. Time to talk about the thing that everybody hates most in fantasy football. We got the week 1 injury report here for you, and this is for all games, minus the Monday night football game. Let's start off with those Baltimore Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, torn Achilles in the first game. Real rough. He cannot catch a break.
He's done.
Yeah, that's why he wanted that contract. He knew it. He knew that this was going to happen.
He's very fragile.
Yeah. So
on the flip side of that, who's the target?
Justice Hill.
Justice for all.
They put him in more in the red zone than they did Gus Edwards.
And the bus is still like a guy I think they're like being careful with, because he was like, he got bubble wrap all up on him too, because he's not coming back super right yet from that ACL either. It's been a year removed too. It's kind of crazy.
And you know what kind of sucks is I know Lamar didn't look the best, but like one of the things that has plagued the Ravens over the last couple years is injuries. And they lose their starting running back, just like that before the first half, in the first half of the first game. And then Marcus Williams gets ruled out and a shoulder injury. And they said they fear that he has a torn pectoral muscle. So he has that. He's automatically going on IR. And there's one of their starting 4 DBs, just like that.
These things are awesome.
If that's not awesome, how about Ronnie Stanley?
He's always hurt, bro.
Come on, already got hurt. And Tyler Lindenbaum, he's going to get an MRI. That's their center.
Mm-hmm. They drafted him like they jumped up in front of the Cowboys in the draft a couple of years ago to grab him. Cowboys is like, cool, man. Good luck.
All bad. And I'm sure that Lamar is going to get blamed for this now for anything that goes on. Like he did fumble the ball, a few times. They were winning like 25-9 or like some shit like that. So it didn't even matter at that point. But losing your let's say the star running back for them, you might have just lost 2 of your 5 pieces. One of the tackles and the center, both very, very important for pass blocking. And then you might have lost your top safety over there as well for a couple weeks. What the Ravens do to like just get cursed like this?
They've ripped off. You want to know what they did for real?
Let's hear it.
To deserve it?
Yeah.
Is when that organization was birthed. They fucking took everybody there. Ozzie Newsome took everybody there and took everybody from Belichick and left him to rot. And the evil emperor cursed them for life.
Stephen Drake.
They still got 2 Super Bowls out of it.
Stephen Drake's in the house. What up? What up? And for anybody who wants to leave any kind of super chats, there's a couple ways that you can do it now. It's 420 super chat. Because YouTube's kind of hating on us, at least until November. And there's two separate links that you can pay through that way. And Stephen Drake said, how bad do you think Deontay's hamstring is going to be? We'll jump over to the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
Hold on, one more thing. What's about my man Jalen Pitre? Because he got ruled out quick in that game. He's on the list down there. Okay.
Yeah. I got it separated by team.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we'll jump over to the Steel Dogs right now. And so we don't know the severity of his hamstring, but it didn't look good. And I don't think we should be counting on him to be playing in week 2.
Here's a positive outlook. If he doesn't get put on the IR.
Right.
Because then that means like, we could sweat this 2 to maybe 4 weeks. But if he gets put on the IR, then we're sweating like a for sure 4, maybe even longer, like up to 6. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. Super ugly out there. One of their defensive ends went out, How about Pat Fryermuth, though? Went out, didn't come back.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward went out and didn't come back. If Cam Hayward don't play, this just means play your running backs against them even with more confidence.
More. And you know what's crazy, bro? I mean, my bad for all the Steelers fans who was coming through talking on gagging shit to Bogey all week. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I stay realistic. Like we're gonna go out there and play real physical, and we beat them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the injury report. It's sad. You had to do it to my Deontay, bro.
Yeah, all bad.
Ah.
And then let's jump over to Houston, like Bogey said. Jalen Pitre actually got taken to the local hospital because he had a bruised lung.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you have shit like that, you can't even fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, if he's a real savage though, if he has to drive to the next away game to play, because you know who that happened to? What's our man, bro? Poyer.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, Poyer, right? From the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember he had to drive to that motherfucking playoff game, I think.
Yeah, so ridiculous.
Yeah, because they're like he wouldn't be gonna be able to fly because of whatever chest, lung, whatever he had. You know what I mean?
Yep. And let's see, Hassan Ridgeway. So that's their DT. He got ruled out, and then they lost one of their offensive tackles to a shoulder injury.
Yeah, and their line was already going into the year hella banged up.
Yeah, George Fant. So that ain't nothing nice over there. Really not nothing nice. Let's see. Let's go back to Carolina here. So J.C. Horn, man, cannot catch a break. This dude just stays hurt.
Yeah.
Hamstring injury, got ruled out pretty early in that game. And young cornerback. He was drafted, 8th overall?
Something like that. He was a first rounder.
Yeah, back in 2021, and just always hurt.
Yeah, he was along the lines with like the Surtains and the who else? What's the other kid from the Chargers? They were like the top 3 that year.
Yeah, Sante.
Yeah, Samuel.
Yeah. And how about for the Bears? Kyler Gordon, he went out somewhat early in that game.
Real quick.
Hand injury. So that that just sucks. You can't be a DB and like have hand injuries out there.
Hey, you might have a club on.
Yeah, but you think so? We ever seen a cornerback rock the club?
I've seen a cornerback have one hand. That's happened.
That's true. I guess you don't need.
Shout out to Shaq Griffin. Is that his name, or is it Shaquem? It was one of them.
I think it's Shaq Griffin.
It was the two because they were twins.
Yeah, that's true. Having 2 hands is a luxury at the cornerback position. Yeah,
I mean, you gotta have both of them. But I've seen it though.
I seen it. All right. How about with the Cleveland Browns? They lost one of their offensive tackles, Jack Conklin. He got carted off the field.
That's bad, man.
And they're fearing a significant knee injury.
That's really bad because, like, you know how many big runs we see on that right side from Nick Chubb the past 3. I remember how when they lost Derek when Jack Conklin left Tennessee. I remember that year I was making a case like I'm gonna curb Henry. You know what I mean? Like that was wrong because it's still Derrick Henry, but man, he went over and I was bigging up Chubb. I was like, well, I'd take Henry in the first round. I'll take Chubb in the second. Like that was like my thing that year in 2020.
Right.
And then boom, you know what I mean? But then Chubb dies. But still
man. So I didn't even see this. I guess the news came out since I made all these notes. He said Conklin has an ACL and an MCL tear.
Done.
Damn it. Yeah, that sucks. We don't want to see, especially we don't care about offensive linemen, like we're never really cheering for them, but we don't want to see them get hurt. Like that just makes it worse for whoever we got on those offenses.
Yeah.
And oh man, Derek, he said it right now. Nakobe Dean hurts, and I'm back in my car listening now. Yeah, and we just got the news that it's probably going to be a multiple week injury. Now let's see if they put him on IR. Sucks. It's a foot injury too.
Yeah, what's crazy is because remember he had the ankle a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
or maybe like a month ago he had an ankle, and that was like a 2-week thing. And if it's a foot, as long as there's not no Liz Frank or nothing like that, well, we're all right. It just sucks because what if someone outshines them and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and now and I don't think anyone's really outshining them. Like they had really he did the best still out of everybody other than Reed Blankenship on the defense, but it's going to be a guy like Zach Cunningham, who's just probably getting more play.
Yep, season bet.
Yeah.
It's a good pickup, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if I want him for fantasy, though. That's the things.
I mean, we playing a lot of full IDPs, right? Like that's what I call it, like a full IDP.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, yeah. So guys, kind of interesting.
Let's jump over to the Broncos. So Caden Stearns, that's their safety over there. So he went out, didn't return. He got carted off the field, and then
it's a fucking bloodbath.
And then Greg Dulcich, he left and did not come back either. Leg injury. We'll get into more specifics on FNT. Make sure you guys are here every weekday, 1 o'clock West Coast time, 4 Eastern.
Bong.
Man, the Green Bay Packers, they were doing so good, and Aaron Jones was kicking so much ass. And he gets a fucking hamstring injury. And then Quay Walker, man, gets the fucking INT, the dope-ass run back for the TD, but ends up being on the wrong side of a bad hit a little bit later, and he's being evaluated. The concussion protocol for him. So
he got a little bit of the dizzies. You know what I mean? He'll be all right.
What a fucking game for that kid, though. Like, man, what a fucking game.
Love that kid.
And Devo, when we talked about the hand injury earlier, where he's like, well, we ain't never seen someone play without a foot. Like, let's see, is Nakobe Dean going to be one of the first?
I mean, it got to be one. It would have to be, I would assume, someone on the Raiders, and more specifically, someone on the Buccaneers, because then it'd be like tight, right? Like a fucking pirate with a peg on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me see. For the Colts, Anthony Richardson. I mean, nothing's really going to come from it. Like, he should be good to go. But man, like with 1 minute left, like in the game, down 10 and like all that, get him out there and getting him hurt. What are they saying his injury is? So, I mean, they didn't even say like him having an injury. He just got popped so hard that they took him out of the game.
Oh, yeah. That's a big dude, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But he still got smashed like that to where he needed to get taken out of the game. It's probably getting the wind knocked out of him or something like that.
It's one of those ones like those welcome to the NFL hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
See, look at that.
Like in college.
Austin said, OverReaction Monday. Here I come. I'm selling Chase and Burrow for Michael Thomas.
Am I in that league with you? I'm just checking.
And Stephen Drakes, he said, I lost Pittry. Should I pick up Elliott or Holland from Miami if not any sleepers? Not Elliott. He's the backup. You want Holland?
I would look at like a Grant Delpit, a Dax Hill, and this is no particular order. Maybe a Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have all those guys nice and snug for you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about the studs and duds here, and IDP studs and duds as well in the next couple segments here, or a few segments down the road. And how about for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Gregory Jr., one of their cornerbacks, going down. Oh, man, their guard, Brandon Sharif.
That's a big one right there, bro.
Ankle injury. So all these, we'll be monitoring the very first news that we get like about this. But yeah, man, I was already worried about Trevor's line, and then you lose one of your pieces week 1. We'll see what happens. Ankle injury, maybe just needs a hell of a lot of tape and he'll be out there. Who knows? But we'll be watching. And okay, fuck, dude. So Jacoby Myers, Babylonia as a first name, seemed to be like the favorite end zone, red zone target for Jimmy G. Man, I can't remember who actually made the hit on him, but man, what a dirty fucking hit in like the third or fourth quarter or whatever. Jacoby, he definitely got concussed out there. Like they showed him. I wish they would stop showing the guys' faces like after they get a concussion. He looked all cross-eyed. And
shit. Why do they? But you know what, too, though? It's like, I mean, like, why do they show that, bro?
Yeah, it didn't look good. He definitely
it's bad for the sport.
For sure.
Like, if we're not watching it live, there's someone that could be like in the, when they're in the command room or whatever, with all the screens.
Switch to a different angle.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like those guys want to have that angle there, but drama, yeah, right? So we'll see what happens with him on going into concussion. Because he definitely got concussed, so Trayvon Morig, that's their safety over there, left the game, did not return. But I'll tell you that dude, Nate Hobbs, he's just such a beast out there. Let's see. Oh, I totally forgot about this. So the Vikings center, Garrett Bradbury, back injury. So he got ruled out, never came back.
That's all bad too, because like they, you know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah.
That line's already bad.
Yeah. The Saints lost a defensive end, Peyton Turner, and they believe that he suffered a turf toe injury. Not really.
Not Peyton Turner.
Not IDP relevant for us or anything.
No.
And let's see. Okay. I mean, here was some stuff that really hurt for the Seahawks. I mean, first, Lockett getting evaluated for a concussion. I mean, I'm pretty sure I think he came back. I think he came back and cleared that concussion protocol, but it was the offensive tackles. Like they lost both of their, they lost 2 offensive tackles in there. Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross. Lucas had a knee injury. Cross had a toe injury.
Yeah, those guys were breakouts last year for them too.
Yeah. So losing 2 guys like that doesn't really help your pass game. You know, your pass help defend that pass rush too well. That's for sure. And then the last guy that we got here on the Bucks, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Is it Kalijah Cansey, defensive lineman for the Bucks? Calf injury, got ruled out, never came back. So that is the waiver wire wrap up. And
injury.
That is our week 1 injury report.
Hey yo, we're in mid-season form, but as in by mid-season form, I mean high as a motherfucker.
Oh yeah. So we'll right after this, we'll answer a few questions, and then we will jump into the studs and duds.
Brukukow. I'm trying to roll. I mean, I'm trying to stuff this motherfucking goddamn cone, and the fucking thing just keeps sticking to my fingers. I'm like, it's fucking annoying.
All right. So let's get back to a little Q&A over here.
What we got?
Let's see.
My favorite.
Let's see. Ha! And Super Saiyan said I was expecting a commercial like that. Whopper Jr. Whopper.
Hey, them Whopper songs be hitting. Whopper, something Whoppers. That should be stuck in my head. Then all of a sudden, I don't even realize I'm in the Burger King drive-thru. I'm like, oh shit, that shit worked.
Uh-oh. And
Marty, they're like, what do you want? I guess a Whopper. I'm like,
and Marty, he said Eagles signed Rashaan Evans due to N'Kobe's injury. Did they really? Man, did they really?
Good pickup.
Are you saying that they will?
It's a good pickup. I don't think he gets plugged in immediately though. But yeah, that's a great like for if he's floating around. I definitely cut up a bunch of Rashaan Evans when I had to clear space.
Yeah.
On fucking the deep dynasties.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. And let's see. Oh, Marty said I think it was Justin Simmons.
Yeah, it was Justin Simmons that got hurt.
What an asshole. No, not that got hurt. That hit Jacoby.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. It was the other safety that got hurt for the Broncos. And you know what? Fuck Justin.
Yeah, what an asshole, man.
It was Justin.
Dobbins' career is over. Such a shame.
Okay. Who hit N'Kobe Dean?
No, not N'Kobe Dean.
Oh, okay.
Jacoby Myers.
Oh yeah.
When he got concussed, got smacked on like the late hit. He's like already on the ground and shit.
Did you hear something that whatchamacallit said yesterday? Collinsworth? They're like, he was like, oh, he's like, that's kind of a late hit. And he's like, I'm sure the league's gonna send him an envelope. I didn't get what that meant. I was like, what do you mean like a
fine? Yeah, fine.
No, like to the person that got hit. Like what? Like some hush money or something? Like,
yeah,
it was a weird comment.
And Peacock said, just make the NFL like the MMA. Dude gets knocked out, the ref should jump in and call it. So the other guy puts him out, get his hand raised. Whole KO'd guy out 3 games.
Where can I apply for that job?
Peacock's going to Burger King in 40 minutes. It's been decided. It is decided.
Hey, listen, when I go, right, I get the Whopper with bacon and jalapeno, and I add jalapenos. So and I like it when they have like the Baja one because it already has all that in there. I'm like, cool, yeah, just give me that one. You don't have to pay this extra fucking.
What the fuck? Super Saiyan Vegan said last year when DeMar Hamlin went down and it cut to a commercial, it was like that one. What the fuck? Whopper.
And the motherfucking their onion rings over there. Smack. If you're an onion ring person, love their onion rings. I'm a fast food fucking nut though. Life on the road for the longest. Fast food joints and diners, those are my shit. It's all the bad food that you don't want to eat. Waffle houses too. And then you feel more comfortable when you're in a place and like, oh, there's a Waffle House because it's like.
Oh, thanks, One Nation. He said it was Kareem Jackson who hit Myers.
Oh, the wily old vet.
Yeah.
We're putting an end to this. No more. You got 2 touchdowns already.
It's funny because with Noble, he likes Burger King. And I think it's just because he saw like, the Miles Morales or the Spider-Man, where they had the theme shit and like that, like literally made him a fan. He's like, man, I want to go back and get the Miles Morales crown. It's like, they don't have that shit anymore, man. He was like, you don't want to get a Spider-Man Whopper? He's like, what if you turn into Spider-Man? It's like, I don't want.
Hey, listen, if I was a kid and that was my belief system, I would want to eat there all the time in the hopes that it will turn me into Spider-Man somehow.
Noble's asked, he was like, where can we find one of these radioactive spiders? He's like, I want to turn into Spider-Man.
I got the plug. I know a guy, man.
And Dem7 said Puka or Romeo Dub, short term and long term.
Man, bro, shit.
Probably Romeo.
Yeah, probably Romeo. Because it's like we could get to a point where like okay, I'm still gonna say it. The Rams and the Seahawks looked really bad. That was one of those games. Just like how I know the Cowboys look phenomenal, but it's also, man, damn, the Giants really sucked. You know what I'm saying? So a combination of the two, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case for the Rams, in my opinion, man. The Rams were the better team out of the 2 bad teams.
Yeah.
And my point is, when they could shut down Stafford, and then we got to deal with whatever backup and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
dang it, Austin said I sat Ayuk for Dotson. I suck. Hey, it's only 1 week. We'll get back at it. And Peacock said, hear me out, guys. Rodeo Burger is $1 menu.
Yep.
I used to stack rings in it already.
And you know what's a bitch out in Cali? It's like $2 now. I remember it was $1 like something, like not even 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Inflation.
Listen, and they had the onion rings in it. That's like the cheat code. Like, so we got a Carl's Jr. out here in East Coast. They call Hardee's, and they got a Western bacon cheeseburger. And that's like the cheap version of it, bro. Just go to Burger King, get some rodeo burgers, bro. That shit smack.
Fearless said Cowboys defense went big for some people last night. Said some people got 50 points, some got 70. I'm curious about in Dennis's like crazy ass league with all that score. Probably scored like more than like the entire person's other team combined, or like all the offense combined.
You ain't lying.
And Super Saiyan said, would you all trade Breece Hall for Zay Flowers? I got D. Henry and James Conner. I would be getting Zay.
Yeah, why not?
Why don't we just wait and see what Breece Hall does like week 1?
I mean, it might be, unless you fear that you don't want to see what you're going to see, and because the world is going to see it.
Yeah.
Like, say he looks bad, then it's going to take your trade value away. I might put it out there right now.
Austin said
he's going to accept it right now.
Austin said we're doing Monday Night Miracles tonight. Of course, man, but we save that for the Monday pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Peacock said I cut Slay this offseason. He had 70 yards, pick 6. He said, don't beat yourself up, Austin. Yeah. And Antonio, man, with his drunken trade, he said, I drunk traded Ayuk at 2023 first and a second for Cook last year.
I mean, but see, this time, I remember when he made that trade. That was when it was the Jimmy G / Trey Lance, you know what I mean, before even the Brock came in there. And
yeah,
someone who actually can throw anticipated throws and just, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think he's better than Jim. Okay, let me ask you that. I know it's the Steelers defense is not the greatest at all. But like, just I know you never really thought the Brock is like more than a facilitator. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was your takeaway on Brock?
That he's not gonna throw a lot of interceptions. Like that's, I mean, I was saying that even like in the preseason, like when he his limited work, he's just making super smart plays with the ball. And this is kind of who I thought he was. I mean, a 200-yard guy, 2 touchdowns, but no interceptions, no rushing yards. So he'll be like a really solid like QB2, and like probably like exactly what the 49ers need.
Yeah, I mean, like what, like Jimmy, the good Jimmy year was like, you know, a couple cunt hairs under a 4th wow and like 25 tugs, 10 picks, something like that. I think he had like 27 tugs, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was putting Brock around in 25, 26, you know what I mean? So he's pacing.
Yeah, what did we say? Because I swear you said like something like 3,500. I said like maybe like 3,000 to 3,200 for the Brock. And I mean, you know, 200
for like 3,400 right now.
Yeah, let's see what 220 times 17 would be.
And he's pacing for 34 passing touchdowns. Let's fucking go.
Pacing for 3,700 right now. So right now pacing for what higher than what both of us said on.
Yeah, but you know, because we think realistically, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think that's realistic because there might be some games where like, but hey, maybe there's some shootouts on there too. I mean, that'll compensate for not having the average of 200. But I mean, like, yeah, this is, you know, it's the weaponry that he has that's gonna get him big games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ayuk, Debo, and fucking Kittle,
like,
CMC. Like, man, just,
I mean, that was a rush.
It was a rush, but yeah, next time.
I mean, you could hit a screen or a little fucking, and you know, little dump off, maybe even have a wheel route. Like, it doesn't matter. All the short games there.
See, next time, just hit CMC, turn that into a play action, give the little dump off, and you get the 60 yards. And then it's like, then he almost goes for 300 right there. And then it seems like an amazing game, you know, for him.
Right? Because on the flip side, people that look at how people view Anthony Richardson, right? It's like, bruh. And like, yeah, even though that big play was made by Pittman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a screen and he did all of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you got to watch the games, because what was our big takeaway from that Justin Fields, you know, Herbert, DJ Moore preseason game? Everyone was losing their shit. And we were like, come on, guys, it's 2 screen passes. DJ Moore did all the work on one. Khalil Herbert did all the work on the other.
They were both bad passes too. If you go back and look at like one DJ Moore had to like really like he had to like go back and kind of get it, slow down, and then he turned up Jets. You know what I mean?
And Austin said, are the Bengals gonna be okay? Yes, for sure. Like, man, don't forget.
For fantasy, hell yeah.
He was hurt in the preseason. Okay. He didn't play any in the preseason. He got hurt like week 1 of the preseason. So he wasn't even practicing with everybody that much. He'll be all right. Like the more
did Jamar Chase know something we didn't know? Jamar Chase knew it. Hey, he was like, I don't even want to play for his 5 weeks, bro.
He said, hold him out till week 5. Just play it safe. Peace out, Antonio. We'll catch you on FNT.
Peace out, birthday twin.
And Tino said, to be fair, Ayuk did it all for Purdy.
Exactly. Like I said, though, it's because of the weaponry. He's going to have those big games. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not like Ayuk was wide open.
It's a yak system.
Yeah, but it's not like Ayuk was wide open for those touchdowns. Like Purdy put it in the right spots.
It was Purdy.
On the touchdown passes.
It was Purdy, wasn't it?
It was actually ugly, but Ayuk.
No. I didn't say it was pretty. I said it was Purdy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was ugly.
Yeah, it's a new thing now. Like I was able to group up everything that everyone would say about Jimmy for years. I just say, oh, we went ugly, we handsome Jimmy, and no one can ever say anything. Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? See, hey, listen, it's Purdy.
And Super Saiyan,
we win Purdy.
He said, bro, Chiefs lost to the Colts last year. Everyone lost their shit. Yeah, that wasn't in week 1, but yeah, exactly. Like that was one of the examples that I gave. I don't know why teams go into Indianapolis and just lose, but like they do for whatever reason.
They beat the Chiefs with Matt Eberflus as their DC a couple years ago. Yeah. 2019. It was like the week before, like they blew out he blew out his knee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went in there and they went in there and lost. Here's another thing too. Last year too, remember the Chiefs? They had like a bad October. It was like oh my god, it's the first October that he went under 500.
Yeah.
Look what they saying last Thursday. It was the first time ever Patrick Mahomes has lost in a home opener. How many home openers he's played?
No. They say it's the first time that he lost on week 1 in his entire career.
Oh yeah, but it's home opener week 1. Yeah.
No,
I said that wrong. I said that wrong.
Yeah,
but it was a home opener though.
Yeah,
and it was week 1. Yes, but first time he ever lost week 1. How many week 1s has he played?
This was his 6th, so he played.
Okay, so he's 1-5. Oh my God, shocking!
He's 5-1. Oh man!
Oh, on a week 1,
there's going to be a changing of the guards now.
What does that have to do with my week 2? Nothing.
And Juggernaut in the house.
I need like an earthquake button or something. Just everything starts shaking.
Hey, our man Clark in the house. He said, "Good morning, gents." And he said, "Week 1 thing watch. Penny is not a thing."
Give him a ding.
That's for sure. We knew it. We didn't know that he was going to be a healthy scratch, but as soon as it said that Penny was going to be a healthy scratch,
I laughed so hard.
I knew Clark was going to come out of somewhere, and he tweeted, like retweeted the inactive thing from the Eagles, and was like, "All right, Hustler, week 1, Penny, not a thing." Hell yeah!
And I like it because, see, if it continues, then he'll hit us with the Penny. Still not a thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because people actually thought that he was about to be a thing over there with the Eagles. I mean, healthy scratches is just also just means that he'll never play special teams. He'll never, you know what I mean? He's a one-trick pony. You know what I mean?
They only brought him there because their running backs always seem to get hurt. And if they do, now he's got someone. But if you bring him out there to the game, whether he plays or not, he could trip on the sideline and tear his ACL or something. You got to save him from himself. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? And then we're going to jump into the studs and duds, and we're going to start with the QBs, and we'll go position by position.
Yeah.
And he said, "I remember in grade school, everything at Taco Bell was 59, 79, 99 cents. Hell yeah. 6-pack tacos was like $2.99. He said I was allowed to bring them into the ballpark. I think you can still bring food.
Yeah, it's
just not drinks.
Yeah. What is it called? Yeah, me and the homies, we used to save our lunch money and then go to McDonald's after school, right? Because it was like, I think it was like 27 cents for a cheeseburger, like 16 cents for the regular burger. So you just buy like as many cheeseburgers as possible. Then you go to the little 25-cent soda machine, like the little Sierra.
Yeah.
No, Shasta. Is it Shasta or is it Sierra? Yeah, Shasta.
I mean, there's multiple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of those. Both of those are a thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you get the little fucking, I get like it's all the generic shit. They had like the grape or like the cream soda too.
Yeah.
It would just say like cola, right? He's like, oh, we were very economical as children. Then
Tomas said, "What's a healthy scratch mean?" So that means when a player is not injured, but they still don't
have him on the active roster for that game.
Yeah.
So it's like if all the running backs died, they couldn't be like, "Penny, get in here!" Like he's a healthy scratch.
Not even suited.
Yeah, exactly.
And Peacock said Sierra Mist is starry now. What?
Word. You know what's crazy is like I never really fucked with Walmart like that because we're always like Target folks, but we got a Walmart like right next to us. So like, and Walmart got like all the sodas, bro. Like they have fucking like Squirt, but there's like fucking like 8 different kinds. I'm like, word.
Dang it. Chaotic said I had foster parents that would buy 59-cent cheeseburgers at McDonald's, freeze them, and then make us eat them. Damn.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't have to leave the house like a nuke one in the microwave as a kid. I mean, it's not the same, but
yeah. See, look, Chaotic said frozen ketchup. Yeah, see, exactly. Like, no, like, because I'm sure they didn't even like make them plain. Like, you got to make them plain to be able to do some shit like that. Because, like, yeah, like, oh man, the fucking.
I mean, just go buy a burger, right? Like, we have this big old jug of change right now, and we're gonna get like a year's worth of burgers. You know what I'm saying?
And Tomas said, "Gracias por la info." Shout out to Panama.
Yeah, Panama stand up.
All right. Now, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
27 cents though, bro. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, shit, when I worked at McDonald's in like 2002, they brought that shit back.
Oh, word?
Yeah. it was like 29-cent cheeseburgers and 39-cent or 29-cent hamburgers and 39-cent cheeseburgers.
Even in the
it would only be one day a week. It was like Wednesdays was one, and then like Sunday was the other.
So. It was Jack in the Box, bro. I swear to God, everyone's that first and like Wendy's, because they started killing the game in the early 2000s with the 99-cent menus, right? But remember before that, it was like you go to like McDonald's. Remember the McDouble? They had the Eddie the Echo.
Yeah.
Right, but it was like an 89-cent McDouble.
I mean, I remember this what Peacock was talking about. He said 89-cent Big Mac when I was in high school. Like, that's what's crazy is like Big Mac used to be under $1,
and it was bigger, bro.
And that was like when Whoppers were $1, like as well, like just $1. Now
remember when Burger King came out with the 2 tacos for 99 cents, but theirs were like bigger than fucking.
I never fucked with the Burger King tacos. It was Jack in the Box or bust on the tacos.
Jack in the Box tacos are the goat. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, like, Big Mac Wednesday. See, that's what it was. Yeah, they had it like one day out of the week where it was like that, and it was always that was when everybody all the fast food chains started doing like some kind of day. Now it's like the dispensaries with all the daily deals, but back then it was all the fast foods doing all the daily deals.
You got the apps now; they just tell you, they let you know. They're like,
yeah,
it was funny because like. I mean, like
if you go to any fast food, you better be using their app because they give you so much free shit for like using those.
Like
apps.
We love Popeyes, bro, for the longest. Like Popeyes, or like you know what I'm saying. Like the only reason I started, but then you know, like we had Jollibees too. That's the goat to me. I mean, and or crispy crunchy. You know what I'm saying. But like we fuck with Popeyes because it was like right next to my old crib. And like, man, if you don't order it on the app, bro, you're about to spend like double for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, Peacock said the McGangbang is real. And what's that? That's the chicken, right? Chicken
patty, and it's the Big Mac, but one's a chicken patty, and then it has the Big Mac. I mean the regular beef patty, and then you put yacon on it.
Yeah. Savage.
Yeah, the McGangbang. It's also been referred to as the menage, or the 3-way or something, whatever the fuck they call it.
Man, I had the Monster Mac. So that's one of the things on their secret menu. It's a Big Mac with 8 patties. Like I ate it, I died, I fell asleep, and then I woke back up like 5 hours later.
He was sweating fucking Thousand Island and shit. What's that? So I doesn't smell like Big Macs in here. Hey, but no, but how do you eat that shit, man? Like,
I mean, shit, it was like literally like you're attacking like different portions of it because like there is no fitting that entire thing like in your mouth. Like it was like literally like a pause.
Preemptive pause. I was like, I know where this is going.
Big pause on that one. But yeah, it's ridiculous because it's so fucking huge. And pause.
The Big Mac's so huge. My bad. This is funny.
But that's what we were going on the secret menu, like the fast food secret menu, you know, just like learning about all these, because now more people started to share it all over, like, you know, just different places on the internet where you could just find all the different secret menus and shit. You know, is the dopest thing. I forget what the fuck it was called, but it's a McFlurry with the apple pie, like in the McFlurry.
Ooh.
That shit is
it's
fire.
like a McFlurry. It's like an apple pie a la mode flurry.
Yeah. Fire.
I'm not mad at that. And you know what? When them apple pies is fresh, bro, crack. And you know, you eat that shit, burning the chest,
burn fucking tongue.
I can't stop. So good, fresh.
Oh man, fucking
motherfuckers be hot as a bitch, huh? You take that motherfucking squirt in your mouth, pause, burn the shit out of your gums, roof of your mouth.
Oh man, look at that. Devo said when I worked at McDonald's in '93, Big Mac meal was $2.99. And Clark said the 2 cheeseburger meal, $3.24. Yeah, that was back when like all the meals were just like $2.99, pretty much every single one.
That was my go-to, right? I get the 2 cheeseburger meal and a 20-piece nuggets. I had like a phase of that that was my high school shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll get the cheeseburgers. I'd add bacon and fucking and have them add the Big Mac sauce on I would get a side of it, you know what I mean?
McDonald's bacon is not that good though.
It's not. It's like fake bacon in microwave. But listen, I'm putting bacon on everything, bro. Should I bring my own bacon? Listen, here, put this bacon on it back there.
Elias said, you guys see any Monday Night Miracles? We're going to be talking about Monday Night Miracles in the pregame show for a Monday Night Football.
Yeah, because I got to go overview my shit too and be like, okay, this is where I need the miracles, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what miracles I need. I'm sure I need.
For sure, I need a bunch of them.
Yeah, we always need them. We always.
Yeah, I look for the miracles.
And Peacock said I ate it so much in high school that I never eat it now. Yeah, chaotic. Can't get a fast food meal for under $10. I mean, shit with the tax. No. I mean, it seems like every single meal comes to $10. That's some kid's meal or something.
I made it a thing for a while there, like in our thread, where I would just take pictures of the receipts, the different joints, because it's like in a week I spend like $400 if we're not cooking easily. Because there's 6 of us, you know what I mean?
I mean, shit's almost $100 a shot each time, right?
Pretty much,
well, not 100, but
it'd be like $70, $80 shots, 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? If like, fuck, we gotta go grocery. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we're gonna put an end to this because it can go and go. You know what I mean?
Chaotic said, I like
McDonald's. Like McDonald's be a 50 spot, bro.
Chaotic said, I like the sliders at Arby's. It's crazy because when I was in junior high and in high school, we could actually get Arby's at
your high school.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was super cool.
We had the burgers that came in like the little like silver like outside, but it's like paper in the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that good.
And Peacock said no.
Not Arby's for sure.
And Peacock said no surf and turf chaotic because Chaotic said I don't like mixing my animals. And she said, no, I don't like that either. Just give me one big ribeye, fat, blood, and all.
Ooh, I love it. See, that's why she's my fantasy wife, bro. Because I'm ribeye is the best steak known to man, bar none. Okay, awesome. Look at this. How about this? Wendy's low key. They, when for all you Catholics out there, when Lent season comes around, right? All the joints come out with fucking fish sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, always on Friday.
Right? Because everybody wants they quit meat or whatever. But like I'd say I like the Wendy's joint, and I add bacon on it, bro. That shit, because Wendy's bacon goes crazy. You know what I mean? But the fish sandwich with the bacon, it's like a surf and turf sandwich, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I really don't fuck with any of the fish, anything from any of the fast food.
I do it all.
Never was.
I had bacon on it. I remember one time I got a phone call. It's a real, and I'm glad I didn't miss this phone call, right? Because like I said, fast food junkies for a long time, especially by being studio heads. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the studio, you say, what do you think we're fucking eating? You know what I mean? We're not. Yeah. Anyways. Fucking my man Dino. Shout out to Dino Dolo out there. HyphyRockstar.com and motherfucking Hyphy Culture on Instagram. Go check him out. But he hits me up. What are you doing right now? Man, chilling. What's up? Bro, go to Taco Bell right now. They got shrimp tacos. For real? Is it fire? Yeah. Went over there, spent like $60 just to make sure we liked it. You know what I mean? And it was, oh, you got him? I'm coming through. It was like
the most random thing at McDonald's.
Crack, bro. It was fucking crack.
The most random thing that McDonald's ever had on their menu is chicken wings. You ever try it?
Oh yeah, bro, they were fire, bro. The mighty wings,
really good. They were so good.
They had Kaepernick and fucking they had Kaepernick and Joe Flacco in the commercials, and it was funny because it was already after that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and we had lost. So in the commercials, they're in the locker room. And eating the mighty wings, right? And then the lights turn out. And then they turn back on. It's Kaepernick. He's eating all of them. And then they're like, you know what I mean? Because that was the whole that they turned the lights out in the Super Bowl. And
yeah.
And those mighty wings were fire, bro. At the same time, too, when they're doing those mighty wings, they had fish nuggets. Yeah, and their tartar sauce was fire too. I was on that shit. I was like, oh, for limited time now. And I'm Filipino, bro. I was getting those mighty wings, and my kids were eating with rice and shit. Those mighty wings were fire, bro. They were spicy too.
All right. Here we go. You ready? We're going to do the little 5-second.
McDonald's, give me money.
Yeah, give us some damn money, McDonald's. All right, here we go, guys. So we're going to do the studs and duds. We're going to break down each position. I'm going to do a little 5-second like countdown before each one. Just, man, realize that really helps me with the editing. Cut down on where shit is.
And we're coming in hot.
All right, here we go. Studs and duds, week 1 edition. We're talking about the QBs. The number 1 QB on the week in a shootout. Our man Tua over there repping 466 yards and 3 TDs, going toe to toe with Herbert. What'd you think about that game?
Shout out to the tuna fish. I'm calling them the surf and turf because you got the tuna fish, you got the cheetah, and the penguin, bro. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. How about our man McCorkle Jones? 31 points. What? Right behind Tua as the number 2 QB.
I told the motherfuckers about McCorkle and motherfucking and Bob, bro.
Come on. I mean, he didn't have the best average. I mean, he was 35 completions, 54 attempts. We'll just call it 55. 316. Hold on. 316 yards. 3 touchdowns as well. Showed out.
What?
Week 1. They were playing from behind. He did a lot of throwing. I doubt there's going to be too many games where it's in the game plan for him to throw 50 plus times. Number 3.
They couldn't run.
Hell no.
They might, you know what I mean?
That Eagles D, it was solid up front, and their line is shit.
Yep, there might be a lot more checkdowns than we're used to seeing in a Bill O'Brien offense. But what you know what we did see? Hunter Henry.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll get to him later.
Jordan Love, number 3 QB on the week, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. Being the number 3 QB on the week with 28 points, I think this was more of a reflection of week 1 in general. We had a lot of mediocre appearances out there, to say the least.
Too? When he ran that tug in, I swear to God, he wanted to say, "And now I own you." Now I own you.
Number 4 QB on the week. On Tuesday, everybody was saying, I want to sell this guy. I want to get him off my team. At least all the crazy, people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes. He was still the number 4 QB on the week with 25 points, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, even at not his worst, but even at what we perceived as his worst on week 1, at least you crazy fucks.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Thursday nighter. Motherfucker was like, I gotta get rid of him. Fuck him. Why did I take him in the first round of a single QB?
Number 5 on the week.
Not I, though.
I had to I'll zip my lip on him. Top 5 in a shitty week. And he was there. Anthony Richardson, 223 yards. A lot of that came after the catch for Pittman and others.
What was that, like an 80-yarder?
Yeah, he's there, though.
Was it really?
No, it wasn't. I think it was like 50. Let's just say about around 55. And he had the rushing tug as well, and 40 yards on the ground. I'm pretty sure he was their leading rusher.
I got a new nickname for him. Dumb Cam Newton. Is he Dumb Cam Newton?
Hey, ignorance is bliss.
This is what the people wanted, though. It's what the people wanted. They want Dumb Cam Newton.
There we go. And now tied with 23 points at QB 6 and 7 on the week. We got Justin Herbert and we got Deshaun Watson.
Hey. Just slipping and sliding around in that motherfucker, huh? He's a slippery bastard.
Yep, it's crazy because Herbert threw for like 70 more yards than Watson, but really means nothing, in these, just 25 yard per 1 point.
Watson would have had a bigger game if the Bengals could have supported the necessity to make it a bigger game.
Right.
They couldn't shoot it out with him.
Not
there was no shootout.
Not at all. And Watson had 45 yards. He had the rushing tug. Justin Herbert had the rushing tug, had 18 yards on the ground, 228 passing for Herbert, 154 passing for Watson. Come on, man. You couldn't give us one more so we can get a 155?
We'll give it to him.
Both 2 touchdowns each. Now,
he might have lost a yard.
Yeah. T-Law.
Taking a knee,
Maybe.
Oh, that's a rushing yard.
T-Law at QB8, looking pretty solid out there. I mean, he was running a lot. I really loved that very first touchdown that he threw to Ridley, where He's in the pocket. He has to roll out to his left, all the way out to his left, set the feet, boom, easy touchdown. We're going to see a lot of that from T-Law.
Mm-hmm.
He was 24 out of 32, 241, 2 tugs through the air. Didn't really rush too much, 21 yards, but we saw him rushing when he had to pick up a couple random first downs.
You got to shoot out. I mean, I like that the Jags just might not be like that super duper good on defense either, because that means it makes it. I mean, in reality, because it makes them good for IDP purposes, and it makes them have to shoot it out, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, shit. They lightweight had to shoot it out to come back, and still, you know what I mean. Winning enough.
The number 9 QB on the week. You may have heard DeBogey referred to him as Mr. 650. Baker Mayfield as QB 9 on the week.
I was fucking savage.
21 for 34, 173 yards, 2 tugs. That's pretty much what got him up there. Yardage is almost like not even that important.
Yeah, I'm kind of angry at him though too.
He could have done more.
He's not pacing for 650, bro.
No, like he's got to get at least one game in.
We calling him 620? Do the math for me. We're just gonna change his name every week.
The legend of Baker Mayfield is just gonna shrink and shrink as time goes on.
I mean, I had him pacing for 650 pass attempts, but you know what I'm saying? Come on.
QB 10 and QB 11 and 12 and 13 are all tied with 19 points apiece. We got Kirk Cousins.
What?
We got Dangerous.
What?
Jimmy G and Brock Purdy.
Oh, come on, bro. Hey, you should have ordered him in front of all of them, bro. I know they're tied.
I mean, sometimes you save the best for last, right?
Okay, I like that. We'll allow it. I mean, because it's not like it ain't nothing but Purdy, you know what I mean? No matter how it looks. Oh, it's Purdy.
So with Cousins, 33 for 44, 344 yards, 2 tugs. Russ, 177 and 2 tugs. Jimmy G, we got 20 for 66, 200 yards and 2 tugs. And Purdy, 19 for 29, 220 and 2 tugs.
I hella zoned out right there. I was thinking of the Dangerous game and how like shitty it is.
I mean, all these 9. I hope that we're not seeing like guys like this, cracking the top 12 too
Where's
often.
the Wolf?
So the Wolf, we gotta scroll down the list. He got 17, so he got a couple points less.
Yeah, but he's top 24, right?
Yeah, he's got to be top 24.
Okay, good. Because as long as the Wolf ain't coming out that top 24, I'm gonna feel good at him being that third target. Like, and when I saw people in some of our super flexes like pulling them up as their QB2, I didn't like that. I was like, man, because it's too reckless, and you're taking away from me getting a chance of getting my third. So I started switching over to the McCorkle being like the third target. You know what I mean? Now I'm about to flip McCorkle.
So we're going to go with the bottom. We're pretty much going to be mentioning everyone who got 10 points or less. Those are pretty much going to be considered duds like every single week here. Joe Burrow, biggest dud of the week. 3 points. Oh, man. 3 points. Like he was hurting us.
Change the subject.
Danny Pesos, 4 points. I told you we call him
Danny Pesos ever in my life.
We call him Danny Pesos for a reason.
I call him Danny Dumbass for a reason.
What's crazy is that Ryan Tannehill actually scored more than Danny Pesos and Joe Burrow, but 5 points, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, most of us had him ranked 31, 32, or 33, so hopefully you weren't starting him in Superflex. But how about Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott with 6 points apiece? I mean, the only thing that Lamar Jackson did that we can do a drop for is his 169 yards passing.
69, dudes.
Mixing in fumbles and shit like that is not good. Dak didn't do shit.
And then that was the game script thing. They just everyone else was scoring for him. And then then not to mention the touchdowns on offense were all on the ground, all three of them.
Yep. What up, Corey? Corey in the house. And then Desmond Ridder and CJ Stroud both had 10 points apiece. Hopefully you weren't starting either one of them. Bryce Young and Geno with 11, so they'll be the honorable mentions there. Not too good from them, but not as horrible as Burrow, Danny Pesos, Lamar Jackson, Dak, or anything like that. And that's all I got
how many on that list is on the bounce back? I think Dak. Oh shit, Dak's even playing the Jets. Oh, he might have. Yeah. Okay. Actually, then that might even be a lower scoring game if there's two crazy defensive teams. Because what I like. I think Joe Burrow's in a bounce back spot here.
Definitely.
And buy all those guys. If you like some of those guys on this list, go buy them. Try to buy them for the low.
I mean, Lamar Jackson going up against the Bengals. I mean, look what Watson did to him last week. All right. Well, you know what? That's all we got for the QB studs and duds. We're going to jump into the RBs. And here we go. All right. And we are now going to cover the RB studs and duds of the week. And, man, I hope we don't miss this guy for weeks and weeks, but Aaron Jones finishes as the top RB for the week. And this is all minus Monday Night Football. We're doing this on Monday morning for anyone who might be watching this later in the week. Aaron Jones, 27 points. He had 9 carries for 41 yards and the tug, and then he had the 2 receptions for 86 yards. He had that long 50-yarder that he mixed in and the tug. Austin Eckler out there doing his thing, 26 points. 16 for 117 on the ground, 4 receptions for 47 yards. CMC, 25 points, 22 carries, 152 yards, 3 receptions, 17 yards. He had the rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler had the rushing touchdown as well. Tyler Algier, who came out of nowhere. Everyone thought he was going to completely disappear. 24 points, 15 carries, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. 3 receptions for 19 yards. That was the top 4. Now tied for 5th and 6th. Travis Etienne and Tony Pollard. Etienne 18 for 77 and a tug. 5 for 27 through the air. Tony Pasta 14 for 70, had the 2 touchdowns. Only 2 receptions for 12 yards though.
Love that they actually used Etienne in the pass game. Love that. Finally.
Yeah. What'd you think about what'd you think about his rushing? 18 carries. They said they wanted to give him at least 17 carries a game. Yeah. Game 1, they lived up to it.
They lied, bro. They gave us 18.
Now, who do we got? Now we got Bijan at running back 7. Atlanta, 2 RBs inside the top 7. What'd you think about that?
It's not far-fetched because, I'll even highlight some that you said like a couple weeks ago. You're like, man, what if they just run with like the whole rotation? And like in this case, it wasn't an entire rotation. But like, yeah, if this works for him, we are in the era of the 1-2 punch. You know what I'm saying? And for game script purposes, you know what I'm saying? If they're in like positive game scripts, we might see more like Tyler Algier out of Boo Boo. But in negative game scripts, I think we'll definitely see what Bijan does in the passing game. All of it, it's all coming.
Yeah, and Bijan
did he have a passing tug that was called back, or was I was really loaded yesterday?
Well, his touchdown was a receiving touchdown.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, yeah, I lived it.
6 receptions for 27 yards.
Oh yeah.
So him, Roshan Johnson, and Stevenson. Those were the guys who had the most receptions on the day for out of the backfields with 6 each.
Yep. Shout out to my man Roshan Johnson. He was doing it right out the gate. I had to start him in a couple of joints too.
It's crazy because it wasn't even a good game for him. But if he's gonna come down with 5-6 receptions a game,
he plugs in those tugs too.
Yeah, because 10 for 56. The average is good, but like when you were, that was Bijan. 5 for 20. you know, and
Yeah, man.
he didn't even run that much, but the 6 for 35, you know, and then had the rushing touch.
I was saying that a lot too, like in the past few weeks, because when I saw their preseason games, and one thing that they did all throughout the preseason, they had him out on the third downs because he could block too.
Yeah,
he's big, you know what I mean? I just didn't think it would happen that fast. I was saying like by October. I kept saying that, like everybody stash him. Like I'm excited to see. I need him in a lot of joints. Like I got him in that green bowl. Like I needed my running back was wounded. I need him to be a thing.
It's not a lot of touches. It's only 11 touches. But if he's coming down with 5-6 receptions a game, and that's like his floor, that's startable in like damn near every league.
With a mobile QB, once they get their shit together, a little better, I'd hope.
And so he was running back 8 on the day. Kyren Williams, I mean, shit came out of nowhere. It was really those two tugs. Yeah. He was 15 for 52. Nothing really amazing there. And he didn't have any receptions. He had a couple targets, but no receptions.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was targeting the running backs. That's kind of crazy, insane.
Yep. Nick Chubb. We definitely want to see him finish higher than what? RB10 on the week. 106 yards, just really didn't mix in a touchdown. Had 4 receptions, though. And that's something that we love seeing that. Want to see him getting more and more.
The chubby one.
Damn it. Doug said I lost due to Dallas's defense. What a nightmare. Man, sorry, bro, because that's why I hate team defense.
I was about to be really mean and say, you lost when you joined the team defense league. Fuck
this was a little crazy. Josh Kelly finishing as RB11 on the week, 16 for 91 and had the tug.
I mean, okay, see, this is what's crazy. Kellen Moore offense. And like you have, what do we see for years? The Zeke and Pollard experience. And like I kept saying all offseason, one of those guys is going to be this guy that's annoying for Austin Eckler owners. I just, you know what I mean? And when we saw Isaiah Spiller playing deep into that last preseason game, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be Kelly, bro. He's probably like, I'd probably prioritize him as a grab too on the show tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Stevenson finishing as top 12, 15 points. Not horrible, but that, you know, like RB12s on the week is why we're not super, super excited about him. 15 points, 12 attempts, 25 rushes. It was the 6 receptions for 64 yards. And that's why we said to target him, like just in general, he's going to be getting like the receptions like that. Derrick Henry. As it's Derrick Henry and actually Brian Robinson who are tied for 14 points. So they were RB 13 and 14 on the week. Brian Robinson got that receiving touchdown. Derrick Henry got his 2 receptions. Come on, man. We need him to get 3 or more. He got 3 targets, but he only got 2 receptions.
What are we trying to get him up to? 55?
Well, we're trying to get him at 40.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to get him to 40, and that's it.
That's right, because he had 34.
Yeah. And even those guys, like, you know, they didn't kill you, you know, but I mean, they didn't really help you win necessarily.
They had a bad game.
Now, how about the duds of the week? DeAndre Swift probably got to be the biggest dud on the week here. Everyone who got lower points than him, like, didn't even play.
See, that's how good the Reaper is these days. He doesn't even have to hurt them. He can just make them just die.
He just knows. He knows who he's going to move in ahead of time.
0.
Future.
Took his soul.
1 point. 1 point for Swift. Deion Jackson, 2 points. Everyone's super hyped about him. Only had 2 points. Jerick McKinnon. I mean, when Travis Kelce goes out, I know I inserted Jerick McKinnon into
a couple spots.
2 points.
And we play in dynasties mainly too.
Let's see. As I'm scrolling up here, I mean, CEH, he only had 4 points. He was a dud because he ruined Pacheco. Like, that just makes him like a bigger dud. He got no points, and you just took from Pacheco, you son of a bitch. Najee would be a bust this week for sure with his 5 points in the regular leagues.
I do want to say too, they tripped up Pacheco on that 1 yard. He was about, you know what I mean? So I like that. I still expect them to use him down there. And then Najee, come on, this is the Niners, right?
Yeah, it's expected. Anyone who thought Zeke was going to be a thing, 6 points. Damian Pierce, Rashad White, 7 points. I mean, Gibbs actually looked good out there, in the short work that he did, but he still only got 8 points. And I know a lot of people probably started him. And then Akers, 9 points. Jacobs, 9 points. Barkley, 9 points. Pacheco, 9 points. You get single-digit points. I'm just always going to consider you a dud on a week-to-week basis. So
even 10 points.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Ugly out there. And how about one? We got a question from Young Star. I said, my friend sent me a trade. He's sending me Hurts, Okonkwo, and T. Higgins, but I have to give up Lamar, Amari, McKinnon, and Marvin Jones.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, I'd rather have Hurts over Lamar.
And Higgins over any of those other guys that he's about to throw him back.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, smash that. Make sure it's not a trick question where you're trying to, make sure you're not the guy sending away the Hurts and Higgins. Make sure you're on that side.
Yep. All right. Here we go. Let's jump over to the wide receivers. And here we go with the wide receiver studs and duds for the week. Man, when Ayuk left those first set of games as the top wide receiver for week 1, I was like, man, 8 for 129, got the 2 big tugs, even finished higher than Justin Jefferson because Justin Jefferson ain't getting no touchdowns out there. But Tyreek came in those second half of games and said, hold my beer. 11 receptions, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's on pace for 3,600 yards, Bogey. Does he get it?
Probably not. 2,000 though. We might see it finally, right?
Got off to a big start. I mean, you're going to need a handful of these 200-yard games to be able to crack that 2,000. And in week 1, he did it.
She went crazy.
But Ayuk, he did come in number 2 with that 33 points. And this is based on 1.0 PPR. So the only 2 guys are actually over 30 points this week so far. We're recording this on Monday morning before the Monday Night Football game, just for anyone who's watching this later. Jacoby Myers at wide receiver 3, those 2 big ass tugs really helped him. 9 for 81, 10 targets on the day. Justin Jefferson doing what he does. 9 receptions for 150. They kind of shut him down in the second half, though, because I don't remember what he had in the first half. I swear it was like 110, 120 already. And then pretty quiet in the second half. Michael Pittman with that big-ass long run cracks the top 5. 8 receptions. Yep. 8 receptions, 97 yards in a tug. Kendrick Bourne. Man, what do you think about him? 6 receptions, 11 yards, 64 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Slot receivers in Belichick offenses always eat. Look at Josh McDaniels over there. He brought over Jacoby Myers, and I always called Jacoby Myers. My baloney has his first name. I used to call him the Black Edelman. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna pepper that position. It's a high percentage catch. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna move the chains like that. You know what I'm saying?
And Fearless at Calvin Ridley top 5 baby was actually top 7. If you were going from like the first set of games, he would have been top 5. But once you get a couple other people in there, he dropped out. Top 7, 11 targets, 8 receptions, 101 yards, 1 TD. Trevor was looking for him very often. I love it.
Yep. Calvin Ridley, give me money.
Oh, yeah. And Tino said Puka has entered the chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wide receiver 8 on the day. 10 receptions, 15 targets, 119. Now, I think what happened was Puka was the first one to put his name tag on, and he wrote his name and number on the name tag. And I think that is what separated him from everyone else, because he actually remembered his number.
What's crazy is like while I'm on the Van Dam Jefferson side before this game, before we saw anything, right? Then it's crazy when you look at the target market share. He was the Cooper Kupp, Puka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Cooper Cup numbers right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how they use them, and they target them. I mean, they moved that kid around too. They moved everyone around, but I'm just saying, like, he got the most targets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. So he was one of the rookies to start, and I'm sure that like there was zero analysts out there who were like, start Puka, like you're gonna start one rookie wide receiver. A little bit more low-hanging fruit for the rookies would have been Zay Flowers. Both of these guys cracked cracked 20 points each. Puka had 22, Zay Flowers had 20. Zay had 9 receptions for 78 yards. They were just getting him the ball real quick. It was getting out of Lamar's hands fast. They're putting it in the playmaker's hands.
I mean, the pressure was coming.
Hell
You know what I mean? We should expect that too. That offensive line they got dinged up even more in that game.
Yeah, all bad.
Yeah.
And Tina said it's weird. I got all these rookies on my team. Well, yeah. I mean, that is one way to do it. Just get all the rookies, and some of them got a hit.
I remember in that one dynasty league we're in, he had like picked a Puka out of nowhere. I was like, fuck, he didn't get drafted? This is probably like, man, I think I texted him too. He's like, I did that? I was like, wait, was it you? I was just high, like, what the fuck, how did I miss that?
Chris Olave, wide receiver 10 on the day, 19 points. Him, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Romeo Dubs all had 19 points. So that's wide receiver 10 through wide receiver 13. Olave, 8 receptions, 112 yards. Who's that? Amon-Ra, 6 receptions, 9 targets.
69, dudes.
71 in a tug. Mike Evans, 6 receptions, 66 in a tug. Romeo Dubs, 4 receptions, 26 yards, 2 big greasy tugs.
It's on limited, like quote unquote limited work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I gotta look into the snap count, see if they really actually did limit him. Because I love the outlook.
Yeah, that'll be something we'll be bringing up when we do the waiver wire show tomorrow. We'll be talking snap counts and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Now, how about your duds of the week? It starts off with none other than Kadarius Toney.
Tony.
1 point. 1 point. 5 targets, only had 1 reception for 1.
He had a rush for negative yards. Don't forget about that.
I mean, even Ricky James like had 1 target for 6 yards, and had more points than him. This is all bad for Toney. I would say probably the biggest dud of the week, just based on like name value where you drafted him. Theo shouted out right there, Christian Kirk, 2 points, only 3 targets, 1 reception, 9 yards. Go ahead, Bogey.
No, I was letting you finish the stats. I'm trying to tell people, bro, like if he's not gonna be in the slot like Calvin Ridley all day, like because this goes back to what Trevor Lawrence favored in college, even. You know what I mean? This is what he does. Yeah, I'm curious to go back and watch. I got to go back and watch and see how they targeted ETN, because if they had him in the slot, boom, that even takes away from Kirk. Kirk out wide sucks. Yeah, even when he was with Arizona,
right?
You know what I mean? Like he's just bad off the line. He's a little guy too.
Yep. It is what it is. And so I just get him on your bench. And yeah, you know what? Actually, the biggest dud, I forgot. I didn't even see him on there because he had a big goose egg and a big 0. T. Higgins, really, him and Drake London, those were the biggest duds on the week with 0 receptions.
Those is all the way. I mean, it's bad if you're Drake London when Desmond Ridder has more receptions than you, man.
Man, that is ugly.
That's just funny. I don't have any London, so.
Yeah, me neither. All bad. And PPM waivers, we'll get there. We'll get to the tight ends. We're talking wide receivers right now. How about a couple rookies that everybody were super high on? Marvin Mims, Quentin Johnston, 3 points each. 2 receptions each.
We definitely told people not to start those guys for sure. You got to watch and see with those guys.
Yeah. Tyler Boyd, I know nobody was like really like, I mean, who knows if he's even starting in a lot of leagues where he drafted him, but only 3 points. Tyler Lockett, missing the time.
Yeah, that one's one that one's definitely one that hurt people.
That's for sure. Let's see. Brandon Cooks. I mean, shit. Nobody did really anything over there.
It was a game script thing.
I know, but it's ugly.
Yeah.
So let's hope that the Jets can score on them a little bit next week, unless this Dallas Cowboys defense is really the best.
I mean, remember I was just saying that too. It's like, damn, is Dak even for fantasy purposes? Is he in a bounce back spot? Because that could be like a super defensive game, just lower scoring. I don't want that. I don't want that.
For everyone is super hyped about OBJ, 2 receptions, 37 yards. Zay Flowers, man. Zay Flowers are bust over there with the Ravens. Mingo only had 6 points as well. Van Dam Jefferson, 6 points.
Dropping a 40-yard house call.
DJ Moore, 6 points. Rashad Bateman. Anybody who thought Rashad Bateman was going to be a thing, 7 points, though.
They don't watch our show.
He had more than OBJ.
Don't fall for the bait, man.
Jaden Reed, he got injured, 7 points. Cooper, he got injured, 7 points. Scary Terry McLaurin, 7 points. Juju Smith-Schuster, 7 points. Deontay Johnson, 8 points, got injured. All bad. Mike Williams got injured. I believe he came back. So,
and then he did all his work that he did actually when he came back.
9 points. Marquise Brown, 9 points. Dodson, come on, man.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
For real.
9 points. Jamar Chase, 9 points. I mean, he almost got to 10. Even if you get 10, it's still not that good, but better than seeing single digits, but right next to the person's name. Juggernaut said we selling Drake London. Who's going to buy him?
I might buy him for the low if I can do that.
In redraft?
Yeah, if I can say like I have like a Kendrick Bourne. Brad, you need Kendrick Bourne.
Fuck. You wouldn't
I might want Kendrick Bourne.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just as of right now, it's like, man, I would take Kendrick Bourne for Drake London. Like,
Give me the PPR machine.
That might be the move. Oh, man. Jake said Mike Thomas. Oh, man, with his 11 points. You know that the Mike Thomas truthers are like losing their shit. Like, 5 receptions for 61 yards. Did you see that, baby? Woo!
Only had a touchdown. He's alive. That's what you should say. Because I'm not, if you guys are fans of the show for years now, you would know when Michael Thomas was a thing, I've referred to him as Frankenstein. And I still don't know if Frankenstein's back from the dead yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a bad week around for a lot of positions. And it's crazy, though. Tyreek was no bad week for him, though, with the 215 yards.
and for those that's wondering why I called him Frankenstein, Michael Thomas, that is, look at his head. It's like he has like the tallest head. I think he's like shows up as like 6'2" or 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's only really like 4 feet tall, but his dome piece is like super tall.
Take a guess.
A big head's a tall head. It's Frankenstein.
Take a guess, Bogey. How many wide receivers had 100 or more yards receiving this week?
3.
Boom. No. 7.
Oh shit.
Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Tutu Atwell, Puka Nuka.
Oh yeah, see that's where I tuned out. Remember, I was like I zoned out right there.
Olave and Ridley.
There you go. And they're the top 7 finishers, basically.
Yeah. And I should have just did this on the running back. We'll do this next time, or maybe I'll chop it out and throw it in there. How many running backs do you think ran for 100 yards or more? Not combined rushing and passing, just straight rushing 100 yards or more.
So we got the chubby one, CMC, right? The chubby one, CMC. I know I'm missing. Is there 3 only?
There's 3. Only 3.
Oh, and Tyler Algier Boo Boo?
Nope. You were right with 3.
With 3, yeah. I'm just trying to remember the third one.
Eckler.
That's right.
170. Yep.
That's right.
Go. And there you have it. So there's the studs and duds for wide receivers. And let's jump over to the shittiest of all shitty positions.
the tight ends. Coming in hot. Ah!
All right. Here we go with the studs and the duds for tight ends. And really, it's like studs and everybody else. Because like if you're not a stud, which I consider 10 points or more for tight ends, you're just amongst the duds, man. How about the number one stud? This is a guy that me and Bogey have been championing all off season because you could get him for free. People forgot about him. Hunter Henry.
You know, he was the first one I used to call Hunter Hearst Henry.
Yeah. There we go.
Before the Hayden Hurst Helmsley.
5 receptions, 6 targets. I mean, in a week where Travis Kelce's not there, 17 points is king in the tight end category. 5 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
Let's go. Cheap tight end.
And since we're talking about another Triple H, a Hayden Hurst Helmsley. 15 points, 5 receptions on 6 targets, 41 yards, and a touchdown. It's crazy.
Frank Reich offense.
Yeah.
Rookie tight end. I mean, rookie QB leans on a tight end naturally, and then in that offense, they're tight end centric. It kind of made sense.
Haven't gone through all the targets, for Carolina, but I would just assume at 7 that Hayden Hurst is one of the top guys over there. At least
he's a great pickup too.
Yeah, for sure. TJ Hawkinson, a guy who you can't just go out and pick up. 8 receptions, but only 35 yards. Like, man, that is ugly. Remember, like one of those stats that I had is like, it's like 15 to 35. It's like 98% of like any tight end who's like relevant on the week is finishing yardage wise, like between there.
Yeah, 35 and
he's the third these top 3 tight end with 35 yards. Fucking ridiculous. 12 points. So I say get rid of the tight end spot in your leagues. Donald Parham, 3 receptions, 21 yards, had the tug. Evan Ingram, he's the last stud tight end of the week. Only the top 5 what I consider studs, and they're really just double digits or more. 5 for 5, 49 yards, no touchdown, but finishes with 10 points.
But see, I like him to be because he's another guy that gets moved in and out of the slot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, that's where he's going.
There's actually a lot of tight ends that finished like with above 35 yards, but there was only 3 tight ends who had more than 35 yards who finished with over 10 points.
Sounds about right. It's tight ends. I was trying to think of something like witty to say or something like funny. I was like, oh yeah, that's around par. Some things don't change, right? I guess that's not the shocking. Well, we've been shocked with all the running backs, shocked with the receivers and QBs in week 1. It don't shock me right here.
Not at all. Not at all. And how about
that's the show.
We'll give some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. If you got 8 or 9 points as a tight end, we'll at least sprinkle you in.
We're calling this the touchdown or bust category.
Yeah, because 3 of these guys had touchdowns who finished with 9 points. Freiermuth, Blake Bell, and Harrison Bryant. Harrison Bryant finishes as a top 11 tight end. He only had 2 receptions.
Not in Njoku.
Yards at the tug. Not in Njoku. Njoku is nowhere to be found. But that's what's insane. Like Freiermuth, 1 reception, 3 yards, touchdown. He finishes. It's let's see, Komet, Freiermuth, Blake Bell, Sam Laporta, Juwanna Man Johnson, Harrison Bryant. All of those guys finished with 9 points each.
And we're gonna put Laporta on the back of that list.
He didn't even have the touchdown.
Yeah, we're gonna put him on the back of that list. You know why? Because he didn't even finish in the top 12.
No, he did. He finished in the top.
Oh,
12.
I would have put him 12, not 13. I did the math wrong.
Yeah, he finished in the top 12.
All the Laporta supporters, man. He was the tight end one this week, man.
But out of all these guys, who really didn't do a lot, I really like to look towards the targets. Like, that's what it's really all about. Like, who's getting the most opportunity?
Exactly.
Zach Ertz only finished with 8 points, but he had 10 targets, reels in 6 of them. TJ Hawkinson, 9 targets. Logan Thomas, 8 targets, only reeled in 4 of them for 43 yards, but 8 targets. We got to like that. Jake Ferguson, 7 targets, but he only reels in 2 of them.
He was bad. But we like that though. Because hey, listen, fun fact with Dak, 6 out of the 7 seasons, 6 out of the last 7 seasons, his most second targeted position is the tight end. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was probably like really bad reads, but he just had to throw it there. And
I had to throw it to the tight end. This is what I do.
Then we got Hayden Hurst, Komet, and Smythe, who all have 7 targets each to go along with Ferguson. Kittle, Hunter Henry, and Kylan Granson all had 6 targets.
The grandson?
Yeah. And then, then it's all 5. There's a shitload of people with 5 targets, but this is something that we're going to highlight every week on the studs and duds, at least bring in the targets, because if nothing else, that's something that we're trying to chase is the opportunity. But we got to know that a guy like Jake Ferguson, who got 7 targets and only reeled in 2 of them, is like not going to be as promising as a Logan Thomas, who had 8 targets and who had only 4 receptions, though, or even as valuable as a Hayden Hurst Helmsley or a Cole Komet, who had 7 targets from, Justin Fields might as well be a rookie QB for the way he's looking out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz too. That one's annoying. Like, because I was trying to do his recipe.
Yeah,
rookie QB in a system that's going to be tight end centric. Lean on rookies lean on tight ends. See, it worked for Hayden Hurst Helmsley.
Yep.
Formula.
All right, and now we're gonna jump over to team defense, at least for you crazy assholes. We got to do the team defense for you guys. So here we go. Let's jump over there. All right. We really don't like talking about team defense, but we will, because we know you guys are on the lookout for the stud defenses of the week. And it all depends on what your scoring is, but I just have everything at the sleeper defaults here. And we'll go with 15 points or more for the studs. Starting it off with the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
They got their touchdown. They got their 3
Stu, hey, Stu, man, recipe, Stu, you down. You up there, you love it.
He's got to be loving it. 7 sacks, 2 INTs. Just ridiculous. Arizona Cardinals, I'm sure they caught everybody by surprise. And 21 points in the sleeper default. It's the defensive touchdown. Like all these top 5 teams right here have a defensive touchdown in the mix.
That's some fumble recoveries, had a couple sacks.
Yep. 2
defensive minded head coach.
Yeah. 2 forced fumbles for the Cards, 1 INT. Recovered both fumbles, 6 sacks. Green Bay.
They had a hell of sacks.
A lot of sacks on the Wolf. And Green Bay with 16 points. They had the touchdown, obviously, by our man Quay Walker, IDP life.
Let's go.
And forced fumble, INT. They recovered the fumble as well. Had 4 sacks that they mixed in. The Eagles, they had their defensive touchdown. They had a forced fumble. They had an INT. They had the fumble recovery. Only 2 sacks. A little bit surprised about that. And then Indy, they had their touchdown. DeForest Buckner running it in there. They had 3 forced fumbles in INT. They only recovered 1 of the fumbles, though. But that one went for the tug. And then only 2 sacks over there.
Yeah.
How about the worst defenses on the week? And we'll just do teams that got 5 points or less over here. And Seattle Seahawks. I think a lot of people might have been leaning on them because they thought the Rams might have sucked. And they came out and punched them in the mouth. The Vikings. I don't know if anyone was crazy enough to play the Vikings. 2 points. Dolphins, only 2 points. Shootout. The Raiders. I don't think anyone was starting the Raiders. But how about the Broncos? I bet people were starting the Broncos. They both had the exact same points. 3. And then Carolina and Kansas City. 5 points each. Real ugly for a team defense this week.
You just stream defenses. Who's playing Arizona next week?
The Giants. I don't know.
Don't do that one. Oh, you stream Arizona against the Giants.
Bingo. There you go. I like that. Bong. All right. Well, you crazy team defense guys, make sure you get into an IDP league because that's what we're about to cover in these next segments. We're rocking and rolling with the IDP players of the week. And let's kick this off. And we will do a what up for the IDP because
let's get it. Let's get it. It's coming in hot. We coming in hot.
What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you.
Yeah, Bogard Scott free IDPing it to you.
Let's go. We're bringing that IDP life. I got my fuck team defense shirt on. We're getting down to biz. And you know what's crazy about this week compared to a lot of weeks? If you play in IDP 1, 2, 3, TJ Watt was the highest scoring player. Not just in your IDP spots. Out of all fantasy football, this is minus the Monday night game. TJ Watt with 47 points. He had even more than the top scorer Tyreek Hill had with 45 points. It's fucking dope. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I mean, that's really cool.
Give me the black Josh Allen.
And we're starting off because of TJ Watt. We'll start off with the defensive line.
Yeah.
Because we play on Sleeper. If you guys play on Yahoo,
Boom.
you know, yeah, just make the switch because you're only able to play TJ Watt at the linebacker position. You should be able to plug him in.
Yeah, give me the fucking cheat code.
Let's give TJ Watt his flowers with his 47 points. Only had 5 total tackles. 3 big ol' sacks in week 1. 2 of them were strip sacks. And oh man, and he had that fumble recovery as well. He was out there balling. Everyone else sucks on the Steelers, but TJ Watt balling.
Love it.
Now, how about the black Josh Allen out there? 10 total tackles, 3 big ol' sacks. And I think this is going to be a thing that we can expect is Anthony Richardson. Yep. He's going to be doing a lot. He's going to be taking some sacks.
Hey, Quentin Nelson left the game. We don't know how that's it might pan out. And the line was already bad even with him in it.
Yep.
Let's go.
DeForest Buckner out there killing it. 7 total tackles, had the sack, the forced fumble, recovered the fumble, and ran it in for the big old tug and reached out and hit the pylon. And man, that was awesome. Was a really, really dope play.
I miss you, DeForest Buckner. Fuck you, Javon Kinlaw.
Man, but you say that. And then I go to the number 4 DL on the week, and it is Drake Jackson.
Let's go.
Out of nowhere. I mean, he's someone that I was highlighting, just as someone random that you could pick up because he's going to be a starter. Nobody knows who the hell he is besides Bogey or the 49er fans. Because who the hell is Drake Jackson? We've never heard of him.
Oh, really?
He's a rookie last year. Did he even play last year? Or he was in the rotation?
He was in the rotation. Week 1, he had a sack. Week 1 last year, he went lightweight kind of crazy. And he got hurt.
Okay.
He got hurt the next week.
Okay. 3.
Maybe even Jermaine Johnson week 1. He had a sack too. I was like, oh shit, the little Sala and D'Amico Ryan's low key guys, you know what I mean?
Yep. 3 big old sacks in that game. He only had 3 total tackles, but shit, I mean, you have a 3 sack game. I'm sure not a lot of people started him. We're not going to chase 3 sacks or anything, but
we've been wanting someone opposite of Bosa for a long time. That's my move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
That's one of my signature moves in fantasy, period. When you know what I'm saying? Is that if you can find the guy that everyone's got attention on, the guy that draws everyone's attention, you can find the other guy the opposite end. And he tends to get all this greasy shit. And that's Drake Jackson, man.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's on Bosa so much. And Bosa still gets his too, but I'm just saying everyone's going to be on Bosa so much that, you know what I mean? Drake Jackson, bro.
Yeah.
He could be a thing.
How about Montez Sweat? Cracking the top 5. I mean, just coming out of nowhere. We haven't seen him do his thing in a little while, but 5 total tackles, 2 sacks, had the 2 forced fumbles as well. I mean, that's big time.
Mm-hmm.
That's big time.
I mean, Arizona should be an offense we could pick on all year. Maybe not with the Giants defense. They look bad. But I mean,
well, I'll tell you one thing about Carolina. I mean, we know they're, I think they're above average on defense, but like they're about average. Nothing really too special. But man, Derek Brown and Brian Burns, those dudes are fucking dogs out there.
Hell
9
yeah.
tackles for Derek Brown, had the sack, 2 sacks for Brian Burns, had the forced fumble as well, 7 total tackles. Like
my man Burns.
Yeah, you mix in sacks and forced fumbles and stuff like that, and you can have 5+ tackles on any given game. Like
nice floor for the tackles. Tackles give you a floor.
Oh yeah. And man, it's crazy. Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong. You might have he looked like he was Lawrence Taylor out there versus the Giants.
It's the line too. The line was so bad. I mean,
they're horrible.
The line was so bad. But man, he killed it though.
Yeah. 2 sacks, only 3 tackles, but 2 big old sacks.
I remember it was the other day. Shout out to my man Minnesota Dennis. Said he was like, hey, Bogey, this Armstead guy, he's like, I'm clearing rosters. Can I drop this guy? I said no. He's usable. You know what I mean? It's crazy because that was like 2 days ago when he adopted that whatever team.
Oh, yeah.
Shout
out to Doug. He said, y'all need to do a 24-hour live stream. Hope y'all have enough smoke. We will. It might not happen this season. It might be like next off season to get ready, but it's going to be, it's in the cards.
What's crazy too is fucking, like I'm actually for the first time in like, I don't know, 3 years, I probably have like less than a gram on me. I got weed on the way though, so like thank God. But I mean, because man, I was on a nice little tear there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A zip every few days. You know what I mean? We smoke a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And so really when it comes to the IDPs, we'll go through and we'll see if there's any like notable duds, but it's really all about the studs and these guys that you need to be paying attention to who just balled out, because just there's going to be off games for everybody. Matchups make a huge difference. But all these guys that I'm mentioning right now, the next 2 that I'm going to mention were tied for 25 points. And we got Daniil Hunter and I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but Osa on the Cowboys with his 2 big old greasy sacks yesterday. Like you get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack. It was bad. Everybody. Daniil Hunter had 7 total tackles though, and a sack.
And he got the greasy one.
Danico Autry, he was out there doing his thing for the Titans, had 2 big old greasy sacks. But who was looking really dope out there is Jalen Phillips, 11 total tackles, mixed in the sack as well. And how about it was like the sack to cap the game that he made, like right at the end on like 4th down, when they shut down Herbert.
Yeah,
on 4th down.
Yeah, it's dope. Even Bradley Chubb was everywhere, like not really on the stat sheet, but just fucking wrecking shit. Vic Fangio's gonna have that defense better. That was a high flying offense. Their secondary wasn't ready for this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Vic Fangio's gonna get that thing together, and they're still gonna get Jalen Ramsey back at one point. And Xavier Howard looked good out there because he's finally healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're. Yeah, go ahead.
As far as like maybe some duds on the week, Cam Hayward, he only got 1 point. Trying to filter through here, see if there's Hassan Reddick, 2 points. Yeah, they ain't no good. Let's see. Harold Landry, 3 points. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have
Simmons,
Nick Bosa, 4 points. When you're getting triple teamed and hadn't been practicing.
Nope.
Kayvon Thibodeau, 5 points. Yeah. And that's all I got to say about that. We do love our D-line. And hell yeah. And there's a lot of guys in the middle, but we're highlighting the top guys right now. And how about Jonathan Grenard with 20 points, Will Anderson, 20 points. And everyone else.
Hell yeah, Will Anderson came through.
Yep. All right. We're going to jump over to the linebackers here. And let's do it. All right, we are back bringing the linebacker action, and we're talking on Sleeper. So, I mean, if you guys are on Yahoo, I mean, TJ Watt will be in the mix. You know, the Black Josh Allen from the Jaguars will be in the mix. But I want to talk about just the traditional linebackers. We're talking about sleeper right now. And how about Roquan?
I mean, come on.
35 points, 16 total tackles, mixed in a sack as well right at the end of the game.
Bang.
Doing what he does. Zaire Franklin. I had him as pretty much my 4th ranked guy for Dynasty and then for redraft.
Middle linebacker in the Gus Bradley system. You know what I mean? They switched to Gus Bradley last year, made him a thing, right? Bang.
Yep. Left off exactly where he did last season. 18 total tackles, even mixed in a forced fumble. 34 points. Jermaine Pratt. Not that he came out of nowhere, but he was just in the right place at the right time, and he always kind of does good against the Browns, but it's because he's the one tackling Nick Chubb most of the time. 11 total tackles. He mixes in a sack and a forced fumble, though. You know, he mixes in 2 big plays. That'll crack you over 30 points, 32 points. And then we got an oldie but a goodie, Bobby Wagner. He was only, you know, let's say LB4 on the week, but I'm pretty sure he had the most tackles on the week. Yeah, that's what it looks like. 19 total tackles for Bobby Wagner. 30 points. That was the last of the 30s.
He came back to them being shitty again. He's like, man, god damn it.
Here we go again.
It was week one, though. We're overreact.
Now, here's some guys. Pull out your notepad. Dennis Gardeck, 27 points for the Cardinals, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, had the forced fumble mixed in. We'll be talking about guys that you should be picking up and guys that you should be putting on your radar. How about Patrick Queen holding it down? 11 total tackles, mixed in a sack as well, 26 points. Foy Olakun, 24 points, 12 total tackles. Devin White, 12 total tackles. Quay Walker, he only had 4 tackles. He ended up getting hurt and leaving the game early. But that big old INT and ran it back for the TD. Handling biz.
Let's go.
Mario Davis. It's crazy how much people really forgot about him. I know he was contemplating retirement. 10 total tackles. TJ Edwards, 14 total tackles. He mixed in a lot of assisted tackles in there, but he still cracked 20 points. Frankie Louvu, Ernest Jones, both with 19 points. Denzel Perryman with 19 points. Divine Diablo, Tremaine Edmonds, Troy Anderson, with 19 points.
Let's go.
It's awesome. That's what we want to see.
A bunch of our homies up in there.
Hell yeah. All these guys that we've been putting you guys on, from people that you draft hella high, like Roquan
and Olakun.
Olakun. And shit, to guys like Quay Walker, who we said get ready for like an amazing second-year breakout. TJ Edwards switching teams, but we said still get him up there amongst top guys.
Tremaine Edmonds switching teams.
Hell yeah.
White boy Troy.
Hell yeah. Like, not a lot of people even know who the hell Troy Anderson is. We've been telling you about this guy since last year to pick this dude up because they drafted him with the 2nd round pick. And they released Michael Walker because they didn't even want Michael Walker taking any snaps.
Get him out of here.
How about Frankie Louvu doing his thing out there? We love Frankie Louvu.
That's the homie right there, Frankie Lou.
And Peacock reminded us about Denzel Perryman because we didn't like him after last year when he fell off. He's like, watch, he's going to be the guy over there. And they get rid of Christian Kirksey. And what do you know? Denzel Perryman, 11 total tackles, 19 points in week 1.
Hell yeah.
Let's see if there's any notable duds worth going and mentioning here. So Brian Asamoah, that was someone who we were drafting like hella late.
We definitely knew we had to watch him though first.
Yeah, so he's someone. I mean, you can leave him on the bench, you know, for a week or two. I'm probably just gonna cut bait with them after I see
the redrafts.
Yeah, not dynasty. Yeah. Anthony Walker. You know, I mean, it wasn't really too much going on the Bengals side of things, so you know, nothing there. How about Rodrigo? Yeah, Rodrigo ain't gonna be the dude over there.
Oh yeah.
He's the odd man out.
Campbell's up in that thing already.
Yeah.
Like, snap wise.
Yeah,
I remember I
Rodrigo.
looked at that the next day.
He's gonna be third fiddle to Campbell.
Campbell and the anal zone.
I mean, you draft a guy in round 1. I mean, just
Alex Anzalone for people that don't know who the anal zone is.
Yeah. Isaiah Simmons. Oh, it was ugly. Oh man.
I know it was like you would expect him to get like at least rack up some because they were on the field so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's about to be
I mean, there was much going on that offense though too for them to even like stop. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he's gonna be on my bench though until further notice. I got because he just got traded over there too. It's not like he was there all off season, so maybe it's like growing pains, like as far as that goes as well.
What hyped me up is that he balled out when that first preseason game and he went there. That's the guy I got into it.
Yeah. Joey Bosa, 2 points. So I would tell you to avoid him. Hassan Reddick, 2 points. Drew Tranquil, 2 points or 3 points. Yeah, got Drew Tranquil in redraft. He's droppable. He's droppable in redraft.
Yeah, it needs an injury for him to get like to be a solid starter there. He's not. He's a rotational guy, and he's behind. He's behind the backup guy.
Yeah, and then Willie Gay and Jack Sanborn. What's his name? Kenneth Murray. All guys with 5 points. Joker. Yeah, all 5 points. So
I think the JOK, the JOK, I think he'll be A-OK because that's definitely a product of like the Bengals just weren't doing shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was all bad for that game. All bad for that game. All right, well, there's your studs and duds for linebackers. Make sure you're following us for all your fantasy, all the fantasy goodness on the IDP side of things. And we're going to jump into the DBs. And here we go. Let's jump in to the DBs and Jesse Bates out there holding court in the street, 36 points, 2 INTs, and he caused that big ass forced fumble, and he had 10 total tackles. He was doing his thing week 1.
Hell yeah. Oh shit, my bad. This is bad. The babies is waking up. I got a cat.
All right.
Yeah, me too. Man, maybe just run that one back. You know what I mean? All right.
Jesse Bates. Oh, yeah. Antoine Winfield, 29 points. 29 points, 8 total tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. This is why we're so high on guys like this. Javon Holland, one of the guys I've been champion since he was a rookie. 14 total tackles. He was all over the field, 26 points. Amani Hooker, he had that forced fumble and the INT. He got hurt in the game, so we're going to have to see what's going down for him. Darius Slay, I mean, he's up there with 25 points because he had the INT and the TD. Not a lot of tackles, though, so that wouldn't be something that we'd be chasing. Reed Blankenship, though, that is something that we're going to be chasing because he had 11 total tackles, 25 points. Nate Hobbs, I mentioned him earlier, 12 total tackles. That's what we're going to be chasing, and what we're going to be talking about a lot on tomorrow's waiver wire show is these guys who have a lot of tackles who are getting the opportunities. We did have a big old INT for Tyson Campbell, so he's amongst the guys, 24 points. How about Christian Gonzalez in his first game getting a big old sack and 7 big tackles for the New England Patriots? He was all over the field. Dax Hill got that INT, 6 total tackles over there, 24 points. I'm not really sure who this Cater Kohu is, but he had 9 total tackles and he was out there, seemed like the entire time, and he makes it a big ass sack as well. And then Bland and Stephon Gilmore, I mean, both had INTs. Bland had the touchdown as well. Cam Curl, 10 total tackles, 20 points. What's his name? Deshaun Elliott was actually out there, and I didn't know if they had him listed as the backup for the longest time. That's one of those games I'm gonna go have to look at. I wonder if they're running 3 safeties at the same time, but he had 13 total tackles. It was big time over there. Greg Delpit, Oh, yeah, 8 total tackles. Hufanga had the INT and had the 5 total tackles. Our man Cisco, Mr. Let me hit that bong, Cisco. Hold on. Let me hit that bong. 10 total tackles and had a big forced fumble in the mix as well. Brian Branch, 20 points, but man, he got injured. Let's see what happens with him. Julian Love had 19 points. Rasul Douglas, 20 points. Let's see. Any other? The honorable mentions we'll mention tomorrow. As far as like guys you should be picking up off of waivers. Let's see if let's see any duds that might be worth mentioning here. If anyone was super excited for Marcus Jones because he was the dude who played offense last year, he was going both ways. Pause for the New England Patriots. He didn't play any offense and he only had a couple tackles on defense. Xavier Woods, only 3 points. Yeast for the Rams, he only had 3 points. He wasn't someone that we were looking at necessarily, but he's playing in front of John Johnson right now, so just pretty random. All right. Jonathan Owens, if anyone's super excited about him, I mean, he barely even played, only had like 2 tackles, definitely in the backup role. Yeah, and that's it. And that is it. And that's all I got to say about that. Appreciate everybody who watched all the studs and duds and went through all of these segments with us. I appreciate you guys. I got to go upload all these videos now. It is going to be awesome getting everything. We're getting back into mid-season form in week 1. Everyone who was watching because of IDP found the IDP video. Appreciate you guys. Anyone who was watching because you came in and you saw all the offensive stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. All these videos are going to be uploaded. The injury stuff, the studs and duds for every position, the IDP studs and duds as well. So be on the lookout for that. When you see these videos pop in, make sure you go click the like button. I appreciate you guys. Help us with some watch time on the Fantasy Football Funk because we're trying to get that channel monetized. And we'll see you in like 2.5 hours for FNT. Peace out, peeps.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Here comes the